this tripod is some better days. Plug in my phone. So I don't have any issues. Oop, alright, a couple people are in here. Enemy, JD, hello, hello. Can I turn on this light? Ah, that light does nothing. Light does absolutely nothing. How about this light? Hey, Jesus. Hey, Valentin, and random onomatopoeia. Oh, that light's just fully dead. Well, that explains why I was being buggy earlier. Hey! Oh, wow, a lot popping in already. So, hello. Is that Prophet Rachel? Hello, hello. Carlos, hello. Daniel, and Enemy. I'm glad we are streaming today was rough. I agree, Enemy. Flame Lord, hello, hello. Yep, JD, we haven't done a live stream in a long time. And the last one we did was that Five Nights one, right? That was back in December, I think? That was the first time in a long time. Flame Lord, I'll be honest, not great. That's part of the reason why we're live streaming, is because I just need to get my mind off things. You know, here's the thing. Oh, Golden Flames, don't think I can watch later, but wanted to stop by to show support. Well, thank you, Golden Flames. Oop, Cheesemus, is it true that Frances Farmer will have her revenge on Seattle? I don't know what that means, Cheesemus. Carlos, where are the blockies at? So, Carlos, my blockies are currently in the new townhouse I'm staying in, which is many, 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 many hours away. We only have a handful of things around the apartment I'm at right now. The rest of my collection is actually at the new place. So we're just making do with what we got. Flame Lord says, the way I gave one of your videos eye hype, I think it was the one you're gay and you're proud of it. Oh, well, thank you, Flame Lord. And JD says, is it related to the Tea Tarney and the Oreo Pix incident? Nah, JD, we're kind of past that. We're very much past that. You know, I've been playing the game of life recently, and you can only get a refund if you ask for it within 2 hours of playing. And, you know, I've been playing this new level for about, I don't know, is this 9 days now? So I can't get a refund, which is a shame. And it seems like we're all stuck in it now, so here we are. Oh, thanks, Valentin. Valentin likes the many toys of Twitch. That just went up today. Vanny, I have not heard of the Jax song. Is that Jax from Amazing Digital Circus? Flame Lord, it's storming outside. Both my cats are pretty scared, but look, they're inside. Poor little white tiger and poor little black panther. Oh. No, it's not storming around here for once. It's actually nice. So I've not seen any of the Amazing Digital Circus. I've never seen a single episode. I know that people really like it. It's I'm not like going out of my way to not see it. It's just I've not had time to watch it. But people tell me it's good. People tell me that it's a fun show. But the reason why we're doing this is because I have like 10 figures still at this place. And one of the only things I have left to unbox are some of these Pokemon guys. So we're just going to go ahead and try to open some of these. Looks like I had a couple of messages come in. JD says it's snowing. Vanny says, I want to call one Pokemon here the goats, but every Pokemon here is a goat. I'm trying to think, like, I have all these Pokemon. Which one's my favorite? I really like Haunter. Out of this group, I think Haunter's my favorite. Then again, Snivy's really good. And then Daniel, you know, Ron, instead of having your just be Transformers content, why don't you tackle other content like you have Star Wars and Pokemon? Daniel, I did do a more diverse series of topics when I was first starting out the channel, and nothing really ever took off. I'm not saying that I would never do it again. I'm just saying, like, at least for a while, it's kind of clear that Transformers is what people like me for. Wyatt, have you done a video on all the crossovers and the history behind them? I have not, Wyatt. I would like to, because a lot of people have asked for that one. Oop. Hello, Flame Lord. Talking about snow in Louisiana. It's not storm. Surely it's not snowing in Louisiana right now. That storm has to be a different thing. Enemy really likes Alolan Marowak. Hey, weaponized toy car. How's it going? Yep, so like I said, I'm really just doing this as an excuse to hang out and talk tonight. And also so I don't have to have all of these big boxes. It's a shame. We don't have Luxray, but we have Luxio. We have close to Luxray, weaponized toy car. Bumbulus, why did I stop doing mini reviews? It's kind of just because I stopped doing reviews in general. And I thought for a bit like, oh, I'll do mini reviews. It's just, I don't really enjoy making reviews. I think they take a lot of time, they don't get a lot of views, and I don't have a lot of fun making them. So it's like if I'm not having fun, and they're not something that a lot of people like, and they take a lot of time, why do them? Now, I want to do reviews again, but truth be told, I kind of feel like going forward, the best way to do it is going to be to just do live streams like this, where it's like I can do a review, but I can also, like, talk to you guys. Hey, Laura Shard, how's it going? That's Shardic Art, by the way. Shardic makes a ton of my thumbnails, an absolute ton. Now, we're going to open someone. I keep looking at, you know what, here, we're going to start with Caterpie. I love Caterpie. Caterpie's great. Butterfree, to this day, is still one of my absolute favorite Pokemon, and Caterpie is very, very cute. So, let's go ahead and open up Caterpie. Doop. Alright. Here, can I, like, get... That kind of helps. Yeah, Caterpie looks pretty decent. I kind of hate that there's this giant mark on the back of their head. Oh, poor Butterfree. You've been branded. Or poor Caterpie. But yeah, decent Caterpie. Well sculpted, well painted. I like it. I should have charged up the camera light. I have a really nice light on top of my camera, but I never remember to charge it. And the charger is the most pitifully small charger to ever exist. Can it actually even reach this light right now? We're trying... No, because the port's on the other side, isn't it? Oh, that's so dumb. I hate this little light so much. It's a great light, but everything around it is the dog worst. Just the absolute worst. Let's see. I'm trying to get this light set up. I should have done this before, but I didn't. That's where we are. Okay, can I turn this light on now? Yeah, okay, so there's a little bit better light now. We're also at an angle now because of the horrible little cable, the charger. Oh, there's not going to be a way to fix that because... Okay, one sec. There, I've kind of leveled us out now. This is the type of professionalism you come to this channel for. Okay, there. Let's catch up on some comments. Weaponized Toy Car says that the second favorite Pokemon of theirs is Mimikyu. And there's, yeah, Mimikyu's right there. Yeah, we got a Mimikyu with Porygon. Thank you, Bumbulus, saying that they're going to watch anything I upload. Thank you, Shardic, saying anytime, boss. JD Raindrops talking about bye-bye Butterfree, trying to make me cry. Yeah, Vanny, I think, like, the anime, out of all the Pokemon that the anime did well, Butterfree is probably, like, one of the best. So, Bumbulus, the tiny ones don't have any articulation. But then, like, the medium-sized ones typically have articulation and some gimmick. And then you can get the Trainer Select line, which is, like, 6-inch tall, really well-articulated figures. Oh, hey, Peppy, how's it going? Yeah, little bug guy, little Caterpie. Yeah, Daniel, I used to do a lot of Godzilla, did a lot of Sonic videos. The big reason I don't do them anymore is just they don't really have a spot on the channel anymore. But that doesn't mean that, like, it's not a thing I would never do ever again. I just haven't gone back to it yet. Vanny says their favorite Pokemon are Palkia, Sceptile, and oh, what is it? Is that Meowscarada? That's the Sprigatito's final form, yeah. No, JD's King Ghidorah just fell off the shelf. Oh, the king has fallen. And Flame Lord says Eevee is my favorite Pokemon because they're super adorable. I actually have an Eevee to unbox tonight. They're right over there. Oh no, and Kong fell too. All the kings are falling. Hey Ron, have you ever seen Brave Police Jay Decker? If you like a lot of sibling dynamics, in Earthspark, you might get something out of it. I've not, but a lot of people tell me it's great. Cheesemas is talking about the Gorosaurus review, which is, I'm pretty sure, the one that ends with me saying that Gorosaurus, like, kills all Ghidorahs, and it was just... My favorite comment is that someone said, that's Gore of my comfort dragon. Yeah, there's an Oshawott right there. My favorite Pokemon is a Alolan Persian. I know he looks kind of stupid, but they are special to me. I like a Alolan Persian. My one thing with a Alolan Persian is I wish the rest of their body was chonky. I think it looks weird to have, like, the thin body and the really kind of chubby cheeks. I think Persian could have looked really, really cute if you really leaned on to them being chubby. And then Random Olympia is saying that their town is finally getting a little bit cold. A little bit cold out there. JD Raindrop has lost Kevin. Enemy's favorite Pokemon is Genesect. My favorite Pokemon is a Pokemon that will never have any form of toy, or action figure I should say, because he's had a Tomy toy, he's had a Sitting Cutie, and he has some finger puppets. I actually have the Sitting Cutie. They're never going to do an action figure of Gliscor, and that makes me really sad. I would love it. Gliscor would be such a great design for a proper, like, 6-inch action figure. But for whatever reason, he just doesn't have, like, the popularity behind him, I guess. Alright. Let's get this one open. So, Flame Lord. I don't know if this counts as a hot take, but I hate the random, unnecessarily overly sexualized every woman that shows up in the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Transformers is meant for kids. Flame Lord, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Random Onomatopoeia, I also really like Klefki. Klefki gets a bad rap. Masquerada is like Joker from Persona 5, like a magician and a masquerade, or a meowsquerade, Vanny Hop says. Wait. So it's because it's the newest one, and the one I've played the least, I'm still not totally, up to date on Gen 9. I've only played it through one time, and the starter I picked was, Fuecoco, because I thought Skeledirge was so sick, and I still think Skeledirge is sick. But yeah, here we go. We got a couple of weirdos in this one, a couple of freaks, like Mimikyu, and then Krogunk, one of my absolute little favorites, and Porygon. Oh, he's articulated. That's nice. What all do we have? We have legs and head. And tail. Okay, Porygon, I was not expecting to have any articulation, but no, you can get Porygon into a couple of poses. And he can give some kids some seizures. I'm kidding, I know it wasn't him, it was that guy, that asshole. Yeah, he's the one who sent those kids to the hospital, but who takes the blame, huh? Porygon. Ain't right, man. Not fair. Mimikyu should replace you. Alright, so, dude, right now I'm just gonna say, if that's anyone's, like, champion team, like if that's the team that you take to the Hall of Fame, you have my eternal respect. If you can somehow manage to beat the Elite Four with a Mimikyu, a Caterpie, a Krogunk, and a Porygon, you are a trooper, and I salute you. You know what? Why don't we just keep on with the smaller boxes? Let's get Sylveon opened. This is terrible. So because of the charger, I'm having to like straddle, fully extend my shoulder out to reach around a lamp to try to get these things opened up. There we go. And we got Sylveon. Sylveon, who is... I don't know if they're my favorite evolution. They're always, like, in the top 3. It's between them, Umbreon, and Espeon. Those 3 are my favorites. I think... So, my childhood favorite was Umbreon. I think my favorite now is Espeon. But Sylveon is very, very close to the top. Very cute. There we go. Sylveon's a decent Pokemon, too. Like, that is a championship team worthy Pokemon, Sylveon. Let's see here. Random Onomatopoeia is talking about Trubbish. They actually made a toy Trubbish, and I didn't get them because I had to get like a whole diorama if I wanted them. Enemy is saying that they heard ZA is terrible, but Vanny loves ZA. So, from what I understand, ZA is just very divisive. You either love it or hate it. I haven't played it yet. Flame Lord says, especially at Dark of the Moon, I forgot the actress name, but there was a shot focusing on her behind. It's like rating the movie again. I thought it was like PG-13, not R. Yeah, so if anyone wants to know a horrible story, the actress that played Carly in Dark, the blonde woman. She was a professional model, and her audition, she didn't read lines. There wasn't a scene partner. Her audition was she was told to go to Michael Bay's house, and Michael Bay and a producer were there, and they got into a car with a video camera, and they told her to strip down to her underwear, change into lingerie, and then clean the car. And they were going to film her while they were inside the car, and she did that, and that is how they got the job. And that's not me like making a joke. That's not me like being like a what's what I'm looking for? Being hyperbolic. Like, I remember before the movie even came out, there were like interviews where she was like, "Oh yeah, no, and Mr. Director Bay would have me go to his house and put on the lingerie and clean his car, and that's how I got my job." And I remember at the time, I think it's still on TF Wiki. This is actually something that turned me off TF Wiki a lot when I was a teenager. If you go to TF Wiki's Michael Bay page, they talk about that, but they're like, "He's so cool. Isn't that so awesome what he did?" Because it was probably written by like a 15-year-old in 2013. And it's one of those things where every time I hear people talk about not liking Michael Bay as a director or not liking Michael Bay as a person, I don't know why that never comes up. Everyone is always like, "Michael Bay, explosions, Michael Bay, Romeo Juliet laws." But it's like, let's not act like the Romeo and Juliet laws was like a one-time thing. Because if we want to like look at the entire Transformers series, in Transformers 1, Michaela Baines is supposed to be an underage character. There's multiple shots that linger on her body. At the beginning of Age of Extinction, you see the Mark Wahlberg's daughter, the one who the Romeo and Juliet scene is about. The camera is like Mel gazing her to hell and back. Like the lens is like straight up in between her legs and up her ass. And then it comes out, "By the way, this character's 17. Like, I'm not saying Michael Bay is definitely in the files. What I am saying is that if someone were to tell me that a popular director from the 2000s went to the island, I am absolutely putting all my money that it was Michael Bay. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can anyone hear me now? Yeah. So I have no idea when the stream turned off. I was having a good time. I thought I was like having some good points. But because we are using the single worst package we could possibly get for Windstream, my stream once again cut out, which is just awesome. It's so cool. If there's one good thing about this move, it means that I can actually get some decent internet. And I have this bullshit every time I try to do something. Is there any point in even trying to like go back through the comments? Because it's like I don't even know where we were when it cut. Yeah. That took the wind out from under my sails. That's just great. That's awesome. Let's just keep on unboxing. Here, we're just gonna do Gengar next. Alright, we got Gengar. What's Gengar's deal? It's like the tongue comes out, is there like a button that does it? Or is it literally just, you just gotta, like... Yeah, oh, you push him down. Okay. There you go. In case anyone needed that. Oh no, that's a good gimmick for Gengar, I think. Because, like, his whole thing is that he looks people. Him and Hunter and Ghastly. I like it more the more I play with it. I don't know, and also just like a overall, good Gengar. Like, like Gengar's not a hard design to do, but they captured him well. His proportions look good. I like this purple. The eyes look nice. The teeth are well sculpted. What is this? Vanny, listen good and you listen good, RonBonDujon. If you ever insult me again or point out my weird behavior with actresses, I'll send Q to your house. Vanny, are you role-playing as Michael Bay right now? Waffle saying that's why they call it Game Freak. Monmix, did you see the new TF collab listings from JT Prime? What is the new collab thing? Is it... I've not seen anything. Is there a new collab coming out? Is it anything interesting, or is it just, like, more random stuff? No, Vanny, for real? I think Michael... Because... So here's what makes me the most upset, is I was actually, like... I assume because I was, like, kind of lost my own thoughts, I was kind of proud. I thought, like, I'm like, kind of making a discovery about myself right now, and I'm kind of happy that I'm here with all you guys. I was still talking about it for, like, 5 minutes before I noticed the chat just saying, oh, yeah, Ron's not here anymore. Like, I thought I was making, like, some good points. I'm gonna say this, and, you know, it's one of those things where I think this is a video that I need to make. I don't know when I'm gonna make it. It's a video that I need to take my time on, because it could go wrong so quickly. I feel a need to make a video talking about that side of Transformers with the Michael Bay stuff. Because everyone who has ever made a video talking about why they dislike Michael Bay, they always focus on what I think are very surface level dumb things. Like redesigns or bad character writing. Even like, you know, if you want to focus on like the twins and like the horrible depictions of groups within the Michael Bay Transformers movies, I don't think anyone ever actually analyzes like how each and every one of those movies at some point sexualizes a minor. Because it's in all of them. It's in all of them. It's in all of them. I'm having to say that again because, like, I've never thought about that until just this stream of consciousness. It's in all of them. Yeah, sure, Mudkip can be the new Batman. Why not? Oi. I don't know. The reason I want to be careful with a video like that is entirely because I want to do my research and make sure I do it respectfully. Because it's not like if I were to just make a Many Toys Of, where at the end of the day that doesn't matter. I really don't think my opinions on Motormaster matter that much. But I do really think that the Transformers fandom and the online community has done a really bad job at actually like analyzing some of the better parts about those movies. Because I think that I don't care about the aesthetics of the Bayverse. I don't care about if the movies have good or bad stories. There's a lot of stuff you can look into when it comes to like not just racism in those movies, but also like blatant militarism and the fact that like Optimus Prime treats it like a good thing that the Autobots are now soldiers fighting America's enemies. That's literally in the opening prologue of the third movie is, we now hunt America's enemies. But what's a lot more uncomfortable is you gotta remember, the Transformers movies, Michael Bay can make them a war movie, they can be the most nihilistic, horrible things, and they are, but like, at their core, that's a children's movie. Like, it's made for one purpose. It wasn't made to make a message. It wasn't made to get an Oscar. It wasn't made for artistic merit. It was made to sell toys. And, you know, that's kind of the reality with all Transformers. And the best Transformers media is the Transformers media that makes you forget that it was a toy commercial. That said, at the end of the day, it is a toy commercial, those movies. And it feels wrong that, like, in all those movies, Because I was like 7 years old, right? When the first movie came out. And even at 7, like, there was something that I was like, that's kind of weird. That, like, we're looking at Michaela in, like, this really odd way. And at the time, I would not have understood, like, that was, like, a male gaze, or that, like, you're, sexualizing her or anything like that. But I was just like, why are we talking about her? Why are we looking at her? I want to look at my robots. I don't know. There's the entire Transformers series, more so than all of the bad story stuff or the weird design stuff, even more so than, like, the Optimus Prime ripping off Megatron's head and ripping off the Fallen's face. The thing that really bothers me the most about those movies, going back and watching them now, is the fact that they are all really predatory. And it's in really subtle ways, but they're all very predatory. First movie, a lot of gross shots of Michaela, and then later on, when they're arrested, you have Seymour Simmons, who's supposed to be like a 40-year-old guy. He's like, criminals are hot, while he's like ogling her. And then in the second movie, you have her in negligee, and later on, you have Sam get his pants pulled off. Same thing with Spitz, Leo Spitz. He gets his pants pulled off. And you see, like, Seymour Simmons. You see his massive bulge in his thong when they're at the Smithsonian. And then in the third movie, you have all the stuff with Carly behind the scenes, but also in the movie itself. We open on a shot of Carly's ass in a thong. Fourth movie, Romeo and Juliet laws. And then in the fifth movie, some of the kids make some really gross comments about Isabella early in the movie. And then also there's the part where, like, the four moms, they're like, ooh, listen to those two having violent sex in the other room when they're, like, trashing the dad's office to try to find a hint. And it's like, you can make the case, oh, it's PG-13. It is, it's PG-13, but it's PG-13 meant to sell you fast action battlers and one-step changers. You see what I mean? Like, your market was not the adults. The market was kids. I don't know, am I off base here? Am I crazy? Because I feel like we've not talked about that. And again, you go on TF Wiki, they treat it like a really cool thing that Michael Bay's like, yeah, he got to see all these women naked. Yeah. Like, TF Wiki still has that article up for Michael Bay. I don't know. That's a video I've been doing research on, and I've never said anything about it because I don't know if I'm the right person to make it. I think it's a video that absolutely needs to be made. And, you guys might laugh at this. There is a part of me that's like, should I make this considering, like, I'm a cis dude. And, like, I don't know if that's my place to talk about it. I'll give you another example. I was, a video idea I had a while back was, wouldn't it be cool to go over the history of, like, of black voice actors in Transformers? And start with Scatman Crothers and go all the way up to modern day. And the only reason I've not pulled the trigger on that is because I just don't know. Like, is that the type of thing that I should talk about? Because obviously it would be to celebrate, but, like, you see, it's just one of those weird things where it's like, it feels disingenuous if I did it. I think there's a lot of people out there who'd be like, oh, it's Ron's trying to get brownie points. Or, like, I don't know. You see, that's the problem. You get stuck in your own head. Hey, my comments. I need to catch up on some of those. Vanny, people thought Michael Bay was adept in G1, but Michael Bay was adept in Kiss players and Carbamia. Kind of feels like that sometimes. Random onomatopoeia. I just despise random people. 50% of the time, I'm actually really Zam accurate about hatred. Michael is one of them. Oh, hey, oh my Ender, how's it going? Mom makes the cemetery one made me think Transformers could be doing the Undertaker because something it sounds like him. I could see that. I could also see Cemetery maybe. Who could Cemetery be? They already did Dracula. That's where my mind went. Maybe Gravedigger, like Monster Jam. The Rocky Show official. Hey, how's it going, Rocky? Jesus says that they're at a Subway right now. Rocky says, "Oh my God, it's my day off. Why can't I escape Subway?" Amanda, I'm not doing a movie review. I don't know. I just don't want to do movie reviews. I feel like that's overplayed. If I did something like that, it wouldn't be a movie review necessarily. Valentin, honestly, if they make a sequel to 2022 Batman, they should make the man antagonist of it Mad Hatter. I remember the rumor mill was that Mr. Freeze was going to be the villain. I don't know. I would like them to do someone a bit off the beaten path. Laura says the fact that I can't show a single Bay movie to my nephew says enough. Yeah. Mom makes, Ron, I think you should also know how marketing cuts out all the weird shit, like hunting down America's enemies part of mech tech. Mom makes... I did the Fast Action Battler Starscream, and there was a Lockheed Martin logo on it. Lockheed Martin, you know, the people who make fighter jets and drones, the drones that we use to bomb playgrounds. And there was a big part of me where, like, I was making that review, I had to cut it for the sake of my own mental health. There was, like, 10 minutes where, like, I had to just stop and just think about the fact that, like, by buying this toy made for 4-year-olds, you are directly supporting an arms manufacturer. Stellar says, Day 71, I've asked for the many toys of Blue Streak and Silver Streak. Hell yeah. Mom Rick, so it could be a Bay decision, or it could be an Orsi Kurtzman decision, because, to be honest, I'd rather blame it on writers, on the execs, and least for the Bay movies. Maybe. Oh, hey, Spider Dad. How's it going? Benny, hey, kids, I'm Optimus. You should look at this actor who's playing a teenager, and you should also join the military. Cheesemus loves pirating. Peppy says, no, you are so right. Valentin says, Bumblebee pissing on the Agent Simmons has to be the barely disguised fetish of Transformers. Changed my mind. Peppy says, I think you should definitely make it. I think it's good for a cis man to address it. Laura says, I mean, there's a lot of homophobia on those movies, too. It's not like you can't come from experience. I mean, that's fair. Amanda says, it's a good question. How well it wouldn't be disingenuous. Random Monopia says, I hate buying movies from direct sources. Giving Michael Bay $15 is like giving the big EP a $20 gift card to Chills. Anima Itter. I'm that way with people calling themselves LGBT allies. They always feel like they're going for brownie points. That's kind of what I'm saying, Oma. Because, like, what's that motherfucker who's in WWE now? The one who was in the Pokemon cards. It's one of the Pauls. One of those two. Is it Logan? That one. I remember when he was like, guys, I'm anti-racist now. And then he turns around as soon as the wind changes. Hey, KR Spirit, how's it going? Vanny says, I think all Michael Bay stuff out would be fine, even for a cis man. Maybe if you start it there, you can now start like a domino effect. More people talk about it. Trust the process. I'm still asking for punch, counter punch on the many toys of. Oh, yeah. Cheesemus still loves pirating. Vanny says, if Michael Bay comes back to Transformers, you can expect a 60-minute crying video on my channel. I don't know. Well, that's the thing is, like, even other creators I really, really, really respect and admire. Like, yeah, I'll name a few, like Vangelis and Diaclona. When the news came out that Michael Bay could be coming back, I thought that even they were focusing on the wrong things. Like Diaclona, who love their videos. I wish I could be more like them. They are so funny. I even think that, like, Diaclona was taken a bit too much like a he made bad movies as opposed to he is a predator. Or at the very least, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Mom makes, again, this is not... If you cut those parts out of the Transformers movies, I really wouldn't mind them that much. Like, if you cut out, like, the blatant racism and the weird, like, selling sex to younger members of the audience. I don't know. Again, if we're talking about modern events, friggin' Snoop Dogg comes out here and is like, yeah, I can't feel safe taking my niece to the Lightyear movie because 2 women kissed for 1 second. And it's like, bro, you are famous for an album called Doggy Style. Your big album was a song about butt sex. And you're out here talking about what's appropriate for children? Come on. It's the same thing where it's like everyone talks about like talks about like any gay character in any movie. And yet these movies made for children are so friggin' gross. So gross. Like, say what you will about Lightyear. There was never a point in Lightyear where a character who was supposed to be a minor was being ogled by John Turturro. And John Turturro just keeps saying under his breath, criminals are hot. That doesn't happen in Lightyear. And if I had to say which one I would feel worse about my kid seeing, it's that. It's that. Let's see. Danny says, I can imagine a thumbnail with a black bar on Michael Bay's face and put in the text. I'm not going to go that far, Vanny. I'm not going to go that far, because I don't know. But, like, again, this is very predatory stuff. Oh my, you say they're teen humor movies when they shouldn't be? It's not even teen humor a lot of the time. Like, you know, I like Knocked Up. I like The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I don't remember them talking about Romeo and Juliet laws in that, though. Like, it's not even teen comedy. It's you're breaking down the legal arguments you could make in court. That's no longer a joke. That is, you were giving someone instructions. Roberto and Orsi also wrote Amazing Spider-Man 2 and both the Star Wars reboot movies, and they have similar problems, Mom Mink says. I'm not familiar, so I'll take your word for it. Valentin Vitola says, Quake should get more recognition other than getting killed by Tigatron and getting killed by Bumblebee. He was alongside Needlenose and Spinster, for God's sake. Why can't he get the recognition he deserves? Cheesemus likes turtles. And I'm on mind. Pia says, me too, Cheesemus, me too. Flame Lord says, I 100% agree with you. Why is it okay? Why did a lot of weird stuff with a man and a woman, but the second a man holds another man's hand or a woman do the same thing suddenly, that's inappropriate? Yeah. They call me Keanu says, have you seen Crocodile Dundee? Oof, Madone. I have not seen Crocodile Dundee. Is that a movie or a show? I know the name Crocodile Dundee. That's all I know. Cheeseman says turtles are the superior race. Hell yeah. Well, Cheeseman, you like Ninja Turtles. You're already, like, biased towards turtles. Duck Boy. At least most of the Bay designs look good. No, like again, I don't want to take anything away from anyone who was, like, animating or acting. Like, there's a lot of good actors in those movies. They can't help what lines they were given. Like, when I call out that line by John Turturro, I'm not saying John Turturro's a creep. Because I love John Turturro. He's one of my favorite actors. But that is the line they gave to him. Mom Mick says, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the movie where Harry's all like, you're a fraud, Spider-Man. Oh, wait, that's not Harry Potter. I thought you were talking about Harry Potter. You're talking about Harry Osborn. Okay. Because Spidey didn't give him support for his goblin-itis that he conveniently has. My name is the Woker. Why so curious? Waffle Top says, I don't think Optimus Prime would like the Bayformers films. I don't think G1 Optimus would. Which Optimus Primes would like the Bayformers movies? That's the real question. Vanny says, imagine how weird the Transformers movie would be if it was switched to another franchise. Like, imagine Sam hiding Pikachu in his backyard and his mom accusing him of cooning. To be fair, something like that was in Detective Pikachu, wasn't it? Flame Lord says, you guys remember when Nightshade, they did nothing wrong, they did nothing inappropriate or creepy with kids, but everyone called them a creepy character even though they're not? No, exactly that, Flame Lord. Everyone focused on that, as opposed to, like, the actual creepy stuff in the massive multi-million-dollar movies. Trust the process. Punch Counterpunch needs more recognition. He literally is G1 and he only got one third-party toy. Punch Counterpunch is really cool. Trust the process. K-Spirit says, I would really like a G1-ish style Scorn to go with the 86 Dinobots. That would be fun. Like, I want him to still be red, but aesthetically he matches with the G1 Dinobots. That'd be cool. No, Enemy, there's nothing wrong with liking the Bay movies or the Bay characters. Again, this is just me talking about this very specific part of it. Oma Ender says, all of a sudden it's inappropriate for me to be in a workplace because I'm trans and there may be a minor near. Yeah. Like, that's the stupid world we live in. Valentin Matilla, I did run for Pokemon Fire Red. I forgot to save. It got deleted. Ah, that sucks. Jesus says, my husband refuses to pay child support for Chibi Godzilla and Michelangelo. First says, I gotta go to work. Time to get my Retgar mention in. Retgar does a free little dance with Hot Rod Cinema. Needs more of that nowadays. Oh yes, Fire Dad. I hope you have a good day at work. They call me kind of Crocodile Dundee is an 80s rom-com with a man really spirited transphobic joke in the middle. Gee, yeah, I wish I could say I'm surprised, but yeah, that makes sense. Flame Lord, autocorrect Kiss players Optimus Prime would like the Transformers Michael Bay movies. Probably. Detective Pikachu 2 directed by Michael Bay. It could happen. Okay, Spirit, I'm thinking of making my own Shug Scale Punch Counterpunch for my collection. They already made a couple of good Generations Punch Counterpunches. They did a BotCon exclusive out of Universe Sideswipe, and then they did another one that was its own mold back in Prime Wars Trilogy. Which one was that? Was that Power of the Primes? I think so. Enemy, I don't like the movies, just the designs. I'm a black bi person, and the second movie is racist. Yeah, no, again, the Bayverse, like, artistry is nice. Like, there's a lot of good designs in those movies. Cheesemas has gotta go. See ya, Cheesemas. Awful Top says, honestly, Rise of the Beast gave us better funky little guy Transformers than the Bayformers did. I liked a lot of the funky little guys in that. Flame Lord, I'm using speech to text because I'm a slow typer. If there's mistakes on my end, that's autocorrect being autocorrect. Oh. Valentine Ventella, Mel Blanc as Shockwave. Now you just got me thinking about Shockwave doing like the Bugs Bunny New York accent. They call me Keanu. Speaking of Retgar, I love the juxtaposition on Junkion in the 86 movie where we go from the no hope at all strand to dare to be stupid. Hell yeah, because there's hope. There's always hope. KR Spirit says I'm not a big fan of those. Amy says, y'all see what Nicki Minaj said? Oh, yeah. I swear, Nicki Minaj, who, by the way, like, if we're just calling things out here, Nicki Minaj has no right to say who is appropriate around kids considering who she's married to. Like, I don't know if you guys know about this, but Nicki Minaj famously married to a sex offender. Just saying. Valentine Ventilla, the modern equivalent would be Eric Baza. Yeah, Eric Baza did Bugs and Daffy for the Looney Tunes show, which was a great cartoon. We sure kiss players Prime isn't Bay Prime. Just the process. But it breaks really easy and all of his toys are over $100. Jesus. Kara Spirit, I think a good retool of Seat Sideswipe would be great. Like, to do, like, that BotCon punch counterpunch again? I think you could make that work, actually. Megalon, are you ever going to collect the Blockies Pokemon figures? Megalon, I don't know. They look nice, but I think they're a little bit too expensive for what they are. The only one I would get would be Scyther. At least out of all the ones I've seen so far, it would be Scyther entirely because Scyther doesn't have like a good articulated figure until that Blockies toy came out. Valentine Ventilla, we absolutely do need a Strika leader class, and I would like a Voyager Obsidian to go with her. Mon makes, I got an FOC Bruticus and I broke off Swindle's leg because it was tight ASF on that ball joint. Damn. Still enjoying the jank. Yeah, no, that Fall of Cybertron Bruticus is a fun toy. It's a fun set of figures, but they got some problems. Oh, no, so Megalon, the select super articulated Pokemon figures, I have a few of those. I used to have the entire run, but I sold off a bunch of them when I did my collection purge. But I still have Mewtwo, Suicune, and Articuno, and I got Deoxys recently. I'm really... Oh, and I also got Garchomp. I almost forgot about Garchomp. So, like, I still have my favorites, but they're really good. I would love... I wish I got Mega Charizard X when I saw him. He's the one I really want. Peppy says we need a new Lugnut and Minimus Ambus. Yes. Duckboy says we need more Turtle Transformers. They call me Keanu. Honestly, the GXS mold with a simple head swap could be a pretty Earth depth charge. Yeah, they kind of did that with Space Case. Space Case became the BotCon depth charge. Oh my Ender, I want to see some of the Blockies Kamen Rider and Sentai stuff, but only if you do stuff that's not in Yudu or Soto. I know Soto. That's the cool like G.I. Joe scale Kamen Rider stuff, right? Mom Meg says some are hoping McFarlane gets Marvel Select since Diamond Select is dead, which is a good thing. Not gonna lie, they had a monopoly over comics. I mean, McFarlane's losing DC. It would make sense for them to try to get something Marvel. Valentine Ventilla, I forgot to do fan art for Beast Mode Cliff Jumper. I did a Riddle Me This Batman on the post for the fan art of Fox Jazz. Enemy. You guys know what would be a good alt mode for a Shadow Striker? An armored military truck, but Hasbro's too scared to give female Transformers unique alt modes. Military truck? Yeah, that'd be decent for Shadow Striker. Megalon. What's my favorite Pokemon generation? When you say my favorite Pokemon generation, are you asking for, like, overall package, favorite game, or favorite group of Pokemon? Mom makes McFarlane isn't necessarily losing DC, more just allowing Mattel to have it again. Mom makes, I thought that they weren't doing 7-inch scale action figures anymore. Is it going to be a thing where Mattel does 6-inch and McFarlane does 7-inch? And he says, oh, sorry, I just hit the camera. Enemy, like the one reactivate Soundwave has for Shadow Striker, that'd be good. Megalon's his favorite group of Pokemon, okay. KR Spirit, I would really like a new Constructicon that turns into a bucket wheel excavator being the same size as Devastator would combine to a super mode for Devastator. Oh, kind of like Overload for Armada Optimus. Waffle Top, kind of wish we had a Penguin Transformer that wasn't the Beast Wars Neo break. I also wish that. Oma Ender, Yudo is Soto, but Sentai candy toy figures that you sticker up, mini Yellow Park figures, kinda copy that style or release. I follow. Fanny, my favorite region for group of Pokemon is either Gen 1 or Gen 3. Amanda, gotta go. Have a good night. See ya, Amanda. Mom makes, I have to assume it's McFarlane and Mattel doing similar figures in unison, like how they were working for Spin Master for movie toys. Okay. Kiara Spirit says, yeah. Waffletop says, a penguin with Grimlock-style transformation would be fun. I could dig that. My favorite group of Pokemon. I think Gen 4 was my favorite lineup overall. Because I love a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon, but there are also some Gen 5 Pokemon I can't really dig. Gen 3 is kind of hit or miss for me. Gen 2, I love Gen 2. I love Johto. Heart Gold, Soul Silver are still my favorite Pokemon games. Gen 2 had so few new Pokemon. And even then, a lot of them weren't really all that great. Like, Gen 4 feels like it completed what Gen 2 wanted to be. And then, like, Gen 6, there's no one there that... Like, there's a handful that were good, like Halucha. Gen 7, I loved a lot of those guys from Sun and Moon. Gen 8 had a lot of good ones. Like Toxtricity. That's another one of the Trainer Select guys I still have. I love my Toxtricity. And then Gen 9 had some hit or misses again. Yeah. So yeah, I think overall Gen 4 is my favorite. And not everyone in Gen 4 was great. I don't like Licky Licky all that much, but when they were right, they were great. Mom Mick says, I think he's alright, but his dooming about Motu rights being given to Universal has been annoying after a while. Oh, Mom Makes us asking about Scott Knightlick from Matty Collectors. Oop. Oh, there's a bunch of comments I need to catch up on. Fanny, I genuinely think Gen 3 Hoenn is the only group of Pokemon other than Gen 1 that could start the Pokemon series. I follow. Not Vintilla, Pokemon Emerald is a 7 out of 10 game, not enough water. Mom makes... talking about Scott Knightlick. Scott Knightlick, I don't know. I think he... I want to be careful what I say here. I think Scott Knightlick had a great mind for putting the right people in the right position. But I think he also had some really backwards opinions, and he killed DC Universe Classics. Like, you can tell me anything you want, like, oh, DC was not as popular anymore. No, DC was still doing all right. The toys were selling well. He's the one who's like, why don't we do an entire year of nothing but Green Lantern characters? Like, there was so much gas left in that car. And it died, and it sucks. And there were so many teams that never got to be finished. And, like, DC Universe Classics is probably still the best action figure range DC's ever had, and it will never feel complete, because there's so many important characters that were never done. Flame Lord, honestly, it's getting boring. Every female Transformers character is a very small sports car or a motorcycle. I want a tank or a heavy-duty jet. Hell yeah. Or beasts. We need more beasts. Vanny, if Gen 1 didn't exist, I think Gen 3 could replace them and have the same success. Okay, we already saw that one. Enemy says, yo, Beast Wars is so good. I finished season 1 like a week ago. I'm mad at myself for doubting it's the best show Transformers ever had until Skybound show comes out. I still really like Beast Wars. I think it's great. Valentine Ventilla, I'm watching the 2022 Batman movie. The theme kicks in. Mudkip appears. Hell yeah. Oh, hello, Tono Brickset. Oh, Tono Bricks YT, my apologies. KR Spirit, I hope we get a new Octopunch that would work like my Cronus. Have Octopunch and... Okay, Ventilla, you almost gave me a heart attack. I thought I lost you guys. Vanny, every time Ron talks about a rich white dude, the live stream freezes. Coincidence. Duck Boy, if you do the art showcase videos, do you think you'd include animation? First of all, can you guys hear me? Please, like, leave a comment if you can hear me, because I'm worried that we just froze again. No one is leaving any comments, which is making me worry that we froze again. Okay, Kara Spirit can hear me, okay. Okay, alright. Random onomatopoeia hits me with the I like dudes. Thank you. Alright. So with the art showcase videos, and you know what? I love to pick your brains about this, guys. I would include animations. The reason why I'm worried about the artist showcase is because, to me, it feels a bit like I could be exploiting artists. Like, it feels like a paid by exposure type thing. But then someone brought up a good point the other day to me, which was, I'm not asking anyone specifically. I'm literally just going to say, hey guys, this month, this is a character. If you would want, just post it, and then I will credit you in the video. Which is not exactly like paying someone for exposure. Like, it's a lot more like we're going into this as just like a fun community thing. And it could be a way to show off your skills or show off your own aesthetic. And when people look at it like that, I really love the idea. But I am worried that it could be in some way exploitive. And I'm really worried that someone might, like, put a lot of work and effort into their art and then nothing really comes of it. Because to me that almost feels like, well, I've wasted your time. But at the same time, I'm not asking anyone in specific to, like, hey, be a part of this. It's really just if you want to do it, and then I'll give you the proper credit. So I just don't know. But if we ever do it, absolutely I would include animation. I think after my move, we'll do it. We'll do it at least one time. We'll see how it goes. And then we will decide from there how we're feeling about it. I don't know. What do you guys think? After everything I just said, after all the words that have come out of my mouth, do you think it's a good idea? Or do you think it's a thing that could potentially lead to people being hurt, people being upset, people not getting what they want out of it? Gone to until a man and his sidekick Dick fights against the Jonkler, Bone, and Croc. Duck Boy, I think it's a good way to get people's stuff out there. If someone doesn't want any of their stuff in it, they just don't have to send it out. No, fair enough, Duck Boy. And Kara Spirit, would that include stop motion? Yeah, I'd include stop motion. I'd include animation. Peppy says, ooh, I'd love to show off my art and the one Transformers animatic I've made it. Alright. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe like in March, right? After I do my move. Maybe like March 1st, I'll be like, hey guys, you have 1 month to turn in all your stuff for, I don't know, Thundercracker. Do Thundercracker because everybody likes Thundercracker. And you can post it in the community or you can email it to me and I will credit you in the video, and it will just be a thing where, like, we'll go through, I'll show you on screen, show the art you made, talk about the things that are cool about it. And, like, obviously, it would not be like a knockdown. Like, I wouldn't be like, I can't believe this gutter trash. No, it would be uplifting. It would be a thing where it's like, hey, look at, like, this cool redesign for Thundercracker. Look at, like, the things they changed. Look at, like, Thundercracker in this style. Laura Shardik, I think that's a good point. I think the big distinction would be that it doesn't need to be new art. That way people can also share the things they've already been working on. No, I think absolutely. I think like I think it's a lot more I'm worried about how it would come off as opposed to what it would actually be. Because we live in a world where there are so many people who take artists for granted and mistreat artists. Um, and I wouldn't want to do anything that put artists in like a bad spot. But absolutely, I think if it's like even like yeah, this is a Drawing of Thundercracker I did 4 years ago. It's like still send it in. Yeah, I'm kind of talking myself into it. I think what we'll do is like March 1st, I'll say everyone, any art, animation, stop motion, your own design, same design but in your style, 2D art, 3D modeling. Your art can go, just be a Thundercracker. Just any Thundercracker you've ever drawn. If you want to share it, email it to me or put it in the community board, and then I'll credit everybody. And then that can just be like a fun way for everyone to just show off some of the stuff they do. And like, it's not going to be like a big thing, and it won't be anything Titanic, but it'd be a way to just like show off a lot of the talent that's in our little community here on the channel. Oop. Vanny says, you know how creators like Jaden Animations have stuff like fan art? Think it would like that, it would be the best way to do it. That makes sense. And Amy says, I know it's kind of random compared to all the other comments. What's random, Enemy? Vanny says, kind of just like have it as a community spotlight instead of actually like using it in stuff like thumbnails. Oh yeah, no, Vanny, this would never be used for thumbnails. Like the thumbnail would not be some art someone sent in. It would be like a, this month our character was Thundercracker, and the thumbnail would probably either be something I personally commission, or at the very least pay whatever artist for it, or just stock art of Thundercracker. Like, it would absolutely be community spotlight. And I would not, like I wouldn't be using the pictures anywhere outside of that video. That would never happen. Random onomatopoeia, imagine being able to draw robots. Could not be me. Flames Lord says, James is super fabulous in Pokemon. I love James so much. KR Spirit says, there's two combiners I really want. Monstructor and Megatronia. Both are great. And he says, community is YouTube's best recent feature. I really like the community. Laura Shard says, Comedy Cam does something similar when he asked for fan art designs for his tier list videos. Oh, okay. So you see, I didn't know that this was already a thing other people did. Kara Spirit says, I want a remake of, and then doesn't say. Peppy says, I have to head to bed now. Good night. It's been fun. See ya, Peppy. Thank you. Enemy says, did it not send? I'm sorry, Enemy. I don't think it did. Penny says, yeah, that makes sense. Valentin says, fun fact, Scyther and Pinsir are rival species of Pokemon. Also, Pinsir only has a Mega, while Scyther has an evolution, a Mega, and a regional version. Yeah, but Valentin, the reason for that is because Scyther is awesome, and Pinsir is Pinsir. Enemy says, what I was saying is that if Grimlock being a character that shows childhood abuse and how it would lead to mental illness could be a unique approach. Yeah, I don't think we've ever really seen that with Grimlock. I think with Grimlock, it's always been a lot more, like, focusing on, like, trauma brought on as an adult. But, like, that would make sense. Kara Spirit says, I want a remake of those combiners. Oh, talking about Monstructor and Megatronia. Yeah, absolutely, that'd be cool. I mean, you'll absolutely be able to do Megatrona as soon as we get to Fensor. Because she's... Mega Empress is a hot spot remake. And everyone else is molds we already got. Megalon, did you know that male Garchomps have a small bite taken out of their dorsal fin while female Garchomps do not? I did not know that. Vanny says, I'm subscribed to a Jurassic Park toy YouTuber and his community has like a bunch of people taking dinosaur pictures and I love it so much, like people posting their blurbs. I love it. That's my favorite stuff to see on our community, is like whenever people just like show off their toys, their toy photography, or their drawings. There's someone recently who designed a new 13th Prime. And it looked so cool. I hate that I'm not remembering offhand who did that. but it was a really cool looking design. Random onomatopoeia. I'll tell you, I finally got a new boyfriend a few days back. Congratulations, Random. Ventilla, fun fact, you should be a Master Ball on Weedle now. You should use your Master Ball on Weedle as soon as possible. That's how you actually win the game. Alright. Let's get to this. We got a Flareon, a Vanillite, and also this. That is a... I don't like that pose, Pikachu. Don't do that. Don't do that, buddy. Pikachu pulling Elon out here. KR Spirit, my Dream Transformer crossover is Bionicle. I don't know what they would do, but I would buy all of them. That'd be cool. Vanny, use your Master Ball on Rattata if you're awesome. Exactly. Well, Rattata is purple. Master Ball's purple. It makes sense. Alright. There's Flareon. I really like Flareon's design. They are not a good evolution. They're a pretty iffy Pokemon in the game, but damn, they are a really good design. There we go. Vanillite. You remember back when everyone was like, Vanillite's the worst thing to ever happen? Vanillite's so cute. I love them. Go hang out next to Caterpie. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good, Pikachu. Get out of here. You're canceled. Get out of here. And then, Flareon. Looking great. I don't know. Why is their mouth open like that? Is that like so they can do flamethrower? I guess. There you go, Flareon. Great design. Good Pokemon. Alright. Guys, run some comments. Megalon pull a Elon is insane work. Random says, but there's a M in Weedle and one on the Master Ball. It matches perfectly. Exactly. Duck Boy. We need some new Energon combiners. I made Superior and Bruticus Maximus animation models recently, and now I need new ones. That'd be nice. And it says, I have a Flareon plush, and it's so soft, so I don't touch it. It's so I don't make it less soft. Hell yeah. Waffle Top says, people hate the Gen 5 designs too much. Gen 5 gets so much undue hate. Oh no. Aelin says, Roman salute Pikachu before GTA 6. Flamelord says, I didn't know. Elon Musk would not be a Pikachu. What would Elon be? He'd be like, not Glossopod, Wimpod. Like the little wimpy little bitch boy horseshoe crab that turns into Glossopod. Megalon, Haunter looks fucking huge. Oh my goodness. Haunter's a surprisingly big Pokemon. I think he's actually bigger than Gengar in the game. Valentin Ventilla, German Pikachu is known for using a gun against other Pikachus that aren't German. Waffletop says, Trubbish honestly doesn't the solution in garbage theme better than the Muck line. Yeah, no, I really like Trubbish and Garbodor. And I like Muck, too. And Grimer. I like them all. I don't have an issue with any of them. I will defend Garbodor. I think Garbodor is actually a cool idea. Megalon, Wimpod does not have aura. Wimpod has negative aura. Flamelord, I was thinking about the garbage bag Pokemon, but I forgot it was called. Yeah, it's Garbodor. Megalon keeps saying it too. He'd be a Garbodor, but less cool. Talking about Elon. You guys don't shit on Garbodor. He's cool. He's way cooler than that nerd. Aelin, people complain about Pokemon designs too much in general. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember everyone being mad about Flamingo. But I think Flamingo is funny as fuck. That's the best one. Hey, Wimpod has more aura than Mega I forgot Mega Caesar was a thing. Oh, God. What does Mega Caesar even look like? He's the one that has, like, the weird chainsaw scissors, isn't he? Ah. Danny, I find it funny Elon was so relevant last year and nobody talks about him anymore. Yeah. It's because he sucks. It's because he's a nerd. He's a cuck who fucking names his daughter after an Elden Ring move. He's a fucking nerd. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a nerd, but I was a nerd that knew how to handle shit in high school, okay? Like, I fought back. I would be the motherfucker pushing Elon into the locker, is all I'm saying. That's a bad place to be when you're below me on the ladder. Valentin Vidal says, Aight, try Platinum GTA 5, I dare ya. Uh, Random onomatopoeia. Flamingo is an absolute unit. Random onomatopoeia. Chainsaw. Yeah, no, Caesar has like these weird like chainsaw scissors for the hands. Off the top, Elon would be the Rotom phone. Oh, because his PFP used to be the phone. Oh, that would actually kind of... No, but Rotom's too cool, though. Rotom's too cool. Yeah, enemy, I agree. Like we're wasting good Pokemon like Trubbish on people like Kirk. We don't need to do it. Flame Lord, I am a Starship Trooper and a Helldiver and a Space Marine. Hell yeah, thank you for your service. Aelin, Flamingo is just a flamingo because you can't improve perfection. But the pun, though, he's also your friend, so he's a flamingo. Let's see here. Vans Vitola, nope, Caesar is the evolution for Scyther. It looks the Mega. That's what I'm saying. Caesar is great. I hate Caesar's Mega. I know what Caesar is. Yeah, I love Caesar. I don't know who I like more between Scyther and Caesar. I like them both a whole lot more than Cleavor. But Caesar is really cool in his own right. Scyther's so cool. Also, Vanny, in my opinion, Gen 9 is the weakest Pokemon generation. Pokemon-wise, Gen 9 is like, I want to like it, but there's so many weak Pokemon, and then you think of Gen 9, it's usually an old Mon. Yeah, Vanny, that's fair. Like, who's a completely new line in Gen 9 that's really good, that's not the starters? Cerule Edge is cool. Armarouge is cool. I like them and Charcadet. Excalibur, I like him. I'm tapped out. Those are the only ones I got. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. So Kara Spirit's talking about Gigan and his double chainsaw hands. I'm curious if that might have been a reference. Because now that I think about it, Mega Caesar looks a lot like Gigan. Omar says, I was so low on the totem, I was brought in to sell drugs in high school. Then he says, I hate Rotom world building. Oh no. Anyone says, I didn't even know who... Oh, yeah. I can't finish that, but yeah. Fanny says, Rotom is supposed to be a rare Pokemon, but now it's in everyone's phone. Where do all those Rotoms come from? Fanny, it's because Rotom fucks. That's why. Flame Lord says, I don't know if it counts as a hot take, but they don't mind the Combiner Skeleton. I agree. Enemy says, IMO, Legends Arceus is the best new gen Pokemon game. I really like Legends Arceus. I'm actually replaying it right now. Dude, Mousehold is so good. I forgot about Mousehold. Random says, Mousehold should have been an allegory for divorce. Yeah, Megalon, of course Excalibur is just Godzilla, but it's a legendary Godzilla, whereas Tyranitar was like Heisei Godzilla. Valentine Ventilla, fun fact, Flamingo becomes pink because they eat tiny, and I say tiny shrimps, those shrimps are pink. Oh, Valentine Ventilla, it's not just that, it's blood. Like, the pink is blood stains. Like, they're white birds. That's why some flamingos are more pink than others. They're white. The pink are blood stains on their feathers. Chris Cox, on an unrelated note, let's speed up our prow figures because Okay, we gotta get Prowl, we gotta get Barricade, we gotta get Red Alert. Real talk, though, I think Chase is fine. Chase doesn't know, okay? Chase is just a good boy. He's hanging out with, like, you know, the preschool gang. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. Vanny says, I liked Legends Arceus, but in my opinion, ZA did everything Arceus did, but made it way more fun to me. I must push the ZA propaganda. I want to try Legends ZA. Oh, I also want to try, what's the one coming out? Is it Pokepia? Where it's Ditto killed their trainer and has stolen their identity. I want to play that one so badly. Yeah. Megalon Yanma has so much. I love Yanma and I love Yanmega. I think I like Yanma more than Yanmega, but I like them both a lot. Vanny, what is the Lobon situation? Oh, God. Is that Lobunny? Did they do something to Lobunny again? Okay, and then Random Media says that ZA lets me be a fanboy, it's so sick. Sharko-Man says, actually Tyranitar is based on the Ultraman monster Bemular rather than Godzilla. Okay. Like, don't get me wrong, I totally believe you. It's just a lot more fun to say that there's two Godzillas in Pokemon. It's kind of like how eventually you just start calling every Pokemon a dog, even though only a few of them are supposed to be dogs. Like, hey, this is my dog Gengar. This is my dog Krogunk. This is my dog Pikachu. You know, it just keeps going down like that. Dude, so Chaos Spirit, on my Discord, we've been talking about a Transformers fighting game. And I'm actually making a video. I'm making like a roster up. And it's going to be called Transformers Battle of the Generation. And it's going to be like every continuity sends in 2 characters. It's a video very early in the process of being made, but it's going to happen. Valentin, fun fact. Valentin says, fun fact, there was a meme in the Smash community of Pokemon for a Pokemon Spain game. After many years, Scarlet and Violet now exist. Hell yeah. Onomatopoeia, this is my dog, Palkia. Hell yeah. Air Spirit, I wish I could join. Vanny says, for those who don't know, there's a character in ZA who's forced to be a maid after losing a battle to another character. 2 years of development time made them game freak. Oh, wow. Elon says, I wish Charizard's wings were made out of fire like Moltres. That's, their Dynamax form is like that. Enemy, yeah, no, it sounds really cool. Aelin, this is my dog, Cryogonal. Valentin Mandela is just like, that's a fucked up dog. Momix says, I wish I could put my Fok Bruticus parts on my CW Silverbolt and Motor Master because they're kind of lacking where there's only 2 legs for the former and an arm for the latter. Then Lord says, I wish some of us could join the Discord server, but I understand. Yeah. And again, like, the only reason I do not make the Discord server free is entirely because there's too many horror stories on Discord. I need some way to somehow be able to bottleneck it a little bit. Because I would like just anyone to be able to join. But also, I'm too aware of how shitty the world is. And don't get me wrong, I like all you guys, and I trust a lot of you guys, but it's also like, all it takes is one bad actor to go in there, and then suddenly there's a lot of horrible, horrible stuff on it. Chaos Spirit. I so head deep into fighting games, I could probably tell the perfect fighting game archetype every character would fit into. Hell yeah. Oma says, this is my dog, Rayquaza. And then thoughts on the Hearts of Iron designs. Sugarman, do you mean Hearts of Steel? Because Hearts of Steel, I like a lot of the designs. I like Bumblebee, I like the Seekers. Scourge as a Zeppelin is really funny to me. I can't think of any other designs. Oh, Squawk Talk was in there. Yeah, they had a good design. Really the one time Squawk Talk's ever done anything. Enemy says, my birthday's coming up. I'm getting a ton of money, so I'll try to get a Discord and join, but I don't know, I might spend the money on a game me and a friend have been wanting to play for a while. Enemy, spend it on something you'll enjoy. Like, we can talk just on YouTube. Landlord says, on a more lighter note, my kitty cats are a lot happier now because the storm stopped. They're sleeping like little angels. That's great. Vanny. Also, there's like 2 characters in ZA that are located dating. I just can't prove it yet. Like, Gwen has hearts when talking about Kanari. If the anti-woke people could read, they'd be very upset. I don't know what any of that means, but hell yeah. I'm going to assume that means lesbians. Hell yeah. Sharkaman. Yeah, that's what I meant. Valentin Ventilla, honestly, any other Fembot need Voyager figures, cough, cough, Slipstream, cough, cough, Thunderbolt, cough, cough. Amy says, yo, illegit has not snowed here at all. Jesus. Alright, we should probably open one of those big boxes. I'm going to open that one because I like Haunter. Sorry, guys. Another one of the best fake Pikachus ever, Morpeko. I love Morpeko. Ooh. I don't know, like, everyone hates on the fake Pikachus. There are a couple of good fake Pikachus. Like Mimikyu and Morpeko, they're good. And then, I mean, I'm sure there's others. Pachirisu. Pachirisu's so cute. I like Pachirisu. And, I'm not gonna lie, the rest are kind of losers. But, you know, the 3 of them are cool. Someone in here is going to be... I'm sorry, are you going to talk shit on Plusu and Minoon? And I guess, yes, I am. Come on, Finnegan. Finnegan was actually the starter I chose in X and Y. And, I don't know. I really liked them. I liked Breakson. I was never too big on Delphox. I don't know why. Oh, wow. They are in there. Come on, Eevee. There's an Eevee. Very cute Eevee. I like that Eevee. And then Bulbasaur. Everyone loves a Bulbasaur. There we go. And then... oh! Oh. Poplio. Hey, Poplio. How's it going? Hey, the Rhythm Linsman. How's it going? There's more Pico. Yeah! Sick. Okay, now Clefairy. Get out here. Oh. Okay. There, Clefairy. By the way, Clefairy was originally supposed to be the mascot of the series. And they got replaced by Pikachu. Because basically Clefairy was pink, they thought it'd be too cutesy. Pikachu was seen as like being a little bit more gender neutral. Like cute enough that girls will like it, cool enough that boys will like it. But in, is it Pokemon Adventures? There's a very popular manga where Red still has a Clefairy and not a Pikachu. So there you go, Clefairy, one of the lost potentials in Transformers. Kind of like Hound, now that I think about it. Because Hound was supposed to be the... No, are we frozen again? I need someone to comment now that we're still alive. Please tell me we're still around. Okay? Okay. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying, very much like Hound, in that they both got cheated out of the mascot role. Alright. Lucario. Alright, Lucario. Oh, actually a little bit of articulation. Lucario, who was literally like an industry plant, and yet an industry plant that eventually genuinely became beloved. Like, a lot of people love Lucario. But Lucario was absolutely, like, marketed, and they were trying to force Lucario into being accepted. And, yeah, you know, it worked, because people like Lucario. Lucario... Wait a minute, yeah, Lucario's in Smash Bros. Yeah. I was questioning myself for a second. And now that just leaves my boy, Haunter. Okay, Haunter. The way they did Haunter is so smart. You can see that you have all these acrylic stand pieces that get plugged into. So that way, Haunter can have... Oh, wow, it is super loose. That is not a good connection at all. That sucks. I was so ready to praise this Haunter. That is so loose. That's a bad connection. Maybe if I switch it around? No, that's just clear plastic being clear plastic. Well, that sucks. Oh well. Still a cool way to do Haunter. Still the best way to do Haunter. Because you can make it look like Haunter is actually has his floating hands. Alright. Not going to be a good action figure, but will be a good thing to have on display. Alright. Catch up on some comments. Vanny says, Pokemon needs more LGBT representation so badly. Please, Pokemon. Vanny, is there any LGBTQ characters in Pokemon right now? Random onomatopoeia. It was 85 on Christmas Day for me. It's getting snow is a dream over here. Damn. Megalon. I like Haunter more than Gengar. Megalon, it goes back and forth for me. I like them both, but depending on the day, I like Haunter more than Gengar. Enemy. I'm afraid that the rumored Skybound Alita will be a remodel of TF1 Alita because the alt mode. I just want a Voyager that matches Optimus' design. That'd be nice. Landlord. Yay! Eevee's gonna be free. Sharkman, thoughts on Sphil and why you should give all your worldly possessions to him? I love Sphil. I worship Sphil. Sphil is my lord and savior. Flamelord says, all hell Eevee. Don Ventilla, fun fact, in Romania, if it snows and not in the mountain regions, it's going to melt in an hour. Flamelord says, now free the big purple guy. I forgot his name. Are you talking about Haunter? Vanny says, I always found Delphox so weird because it was like a from fox to little witch to a wizard, which might make like more sense. But in my opinion, it doesn't really fit. And then Momek says, I'm still yearning for that teenage robot collab because Jenny and Vega would make a cute Energon-esque combiner. And Vanny says, I like Delphox, though, but the inspirations are confusing. Rhythm Lensman, we're just unboxing Pokemon. Laura says, there has to be a better way to package these guys. Tell me about it. And then Kara Spirit says, I see my first Pokemon Snivy. Yeah, Snivy's been judging me from that box the entire time. And then Vantamento says, oh, hey up, wait, was that Magna? Manga? Oh, no. Okay. And then Vantamento says, my boy Hound did nothing wrong. Bumblebee did. Megalon, calling Lucario an industry plant when Zorora is right there is insane. Hey, that was Gen 5, though. That was Gen 5. Lucario was the industry plant of Gen 4. Mr. Viacon says, I've been waiting for a Mega Flygon for so long. Can someone please tell me, is my waiting finally over? I'm afraid not, Mr. Viacon. Random onomatopoeia, Zorora was made up to recreate the Lucario hype. Vanny says, Zorora is the biggest industry plant of all time. Guys, Poliwhirl is the biggest industry plant of all time. What are you guys smoking? And he says, I had that Lucario, be careful with the tail. Ooh, okay. Alan says, Megalon, you're so right. B was a pushover in G1. Aiden Rosenberger, is there a Lucario? I'm late. Yeah, there's a Lucario right here. Vay says, though. And then Dan Solo, Skywalker Production. Guess what? I finally got SS86 Optimus Prime and SS86 Megatron. Sick. And it says, my least favorite Pokemon right now has to be King Gambit. Yo, I'm actually right there with you. I love Bisharp. He's one of my favorites. King Gambit's design, I just don't like it all. Mountain Ventilla. Zorora at least had the community for Sword and Shield to try in Geotherm shiny form. The Rhythm Lensman, you can put sticky tech for it. Megalon says, did you know Miltank has a higher speed stat than Rayquaza? Yeah. Random onomatopoeia, I spent like 10-15 minutes in a line behind two dudes at GameStop for a Waddle Dee figure. Danny says, King Gambit tried to steal all Bisharp's aura, but Bisharp didn't need you. Megalon, I mean, there's Trans Pikachu in the later parts of the anime, I think. Is there? Like, that's the thing is, I do remember that there are some Pokemon that people view as being similar. Like, Inteleon. A lot of people kind of view Inteleon as being potentially a kind of a... What's what I'm looking for? Not queer bait, but someone who's following the... I don't know. You know what I mean. Essentially a Pokemon that's meant to represent. Well, makes there's someone casually uploading VHS rips of Ocean Dragon Ball Z lately. And it says actually there's like one NPC implied to be trans Pokemon. That's right! Yeah, she used to be one of the ace fighters or something, right? Like she used to be a class of trainer that's all male. I remember that. Mom makes. I watch them in The World's Strongest because that's the most accurate dub. In Roseburg, hey Ronbon, do you think you could mini toys of Long Haul? I love that silly dump truck so much, and your past Constructicon videos were amazing. Spill loves Feel His Life. Aiden, I absolutely am going to do Long Haul. I think I have Long Haul planned for this year sometime, but I don't remember when. Cassette Crypto says, ahoy hoy, hello. Venton Ventilla, Pokemon Gun. Megalon, Zorora is Gen 7, but is Zorora Gen 7? I thought Zorora was Gen 5. I'm thinking about Zoroark. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Master of Illusion. Is Zorora the tiger, the bipedal tiger, the furry bait? Is that Zorora? They're the ones when, oh, Ron, I'm working on a Guardian and a Zeta, same style as the Arisen. Hell yeah. Rhythm Lensman, we were just talking about your Arisen earlier. Because people were talking about, like, cool art that's been in the community. And I was talking about how cool it was to see, like, the step-by-step, the stages of your Arisen. I love that design, by the way, the yellow and blue. Mr. Viacon saying no over Mega Flagon. Aiden does not like this Aurora hate. Okay, random onomatopoeia. You're asking what I'm talking about with the Polyworld being an industry plant. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the Gen 1, right? In Gen 1 and all the marketing, Polyworld was always front and center. On Time magazine for Pokemon, in the center, it was Poliwhirl, and you had like the starters, Pikachu and Eevee, kind of off to the sides. When they made Pokemon gummy candy, Poliwhirl was in there alongside Pikachu and the starters. Poliworld had more toys. Poliworld was a part of the first wave of plushies. Poliworld has all of these weird things. Like, for whatever reason, they were really pushing specifically Poliworld in all the merchandise to the same extent as Pikachu and the starters. That's why there's so many Poliworld toys nowadays. Because for whatever reason, in Gen 1, for like 1 year, everyone thought that Poliworld was going to be the breakout star. Megalon says Poliworld is Aura. Flamelord says Powworld. Yeah. Cassette Cryptid, I'm the person who's been annoying about exhaust for a few months. Maybe I've been annoying. No one's ever been annoying about any of their requests. Botshots, hi, I want to stop by and say thank you for being a great part of the new year. Well, thank you, Botshots. Thank you for popping in. Aelin, King Gambit is hype moments and aura. Like, don't get me wrong, King Gambit as a function is really cool. I just don't like the design. Aiden says, I hate Miltank. Bro is the ugliest thing ever, and Whitney's Miltank is the stuff of nightmares. The Witch Apple, Team Skull, best Pokemon Evil Team. I really like Team Skull. They're up there for me. The Rhythm Lensman, I really need to finish my Logos Prime. I just need more clay. Random Onomatopoeia, I love Lysander is just a terrorist in Gen 6. Yeah, Lysander is pretty cool. I don't like Team Flare all that much. Aiden just says, yay. Mom makes favorite Vegeta actor? I don't have a preferred actor. I like the Funimation Vegeta, and I like the Ocean Vegeta. Megalon says yes. Valentine says Sabrina used to be almost impossible to defeat in Gen 1. Psychic-type Pokemon used to be invincible, and only effective type was Bug, and fun big bug moves are trash. That's right, and also, because of a programming error, Ghost did nothing. Ghost was supposed to be strong against Psychic, and it never worked. Cassette Cryptid, oh, I love Long Haul so much. He's become a running joke in my friend group, so now everyone calls him Wide Man. Aiden says Zera Aura. Is it Zera Aura? Is that the name? Zera Aura? Okay. Enemy, would Gallade... I don't know if Gallade would necessarily be trans. I'm sure you could, like, view Gallade as being that. I think... Because I remember years and years ago... Who was it? There was a Pokemon YouTuber I really liked. Was it... I can't remember, and I hate it because she was such a great YouTuber, and I liked her a lot as a kid. But she did a video that was basically like, hey, Gardevoir is supposed to be a knight. Like, the what we think is Hellcrawls, that's a helmet, and, like, the flowing stuff is supposed to be a tunic over armor. Like... Gardevoir is supposed to be a knight, and Gallade is essentially just, they redid the design. Danny says, Zoroark is low-key kind of an industry plant, but Hisuian Zoroark is kind of one of the best designs in Pokemon to me. Yeah, Hisuian Zoroark is cool. Just being calm, we will never gonna have a Dragon Bug Pokemon. Didn't we have a Dragon Bug Pokemon at one point? No, Yanmega's not dragon, is he? Spirit, I don't know why, but my favorite legendary Pokemon is Hoopa. Oh no, not Hoopa. That's one of like my most hated Pokemon movies. Sharkman, I wish the Lugnut showed up more in continuities. He's a really cool bot, and the bomber plane is really unique alt mode. Yeah. Onomatopoeia. I know about the marketing. Oop. Oh, okay. Random Amavia. I know about the marketing, but he deserves it. He is awesome. Vanny says, Poliwhirl is one of the most Gen 1 Pokemon that's ever Pokemon. It's just goofy as heck. Random the Poliwhirl Beyblade is my holy grail. Is there a Poliwhirl Beyblade? Oh. Yeah, no, like, Gen 1 had a very goofy vibe. It's great. Aaron Ross watched the old video of PM7 opening old Pokemon merch. His fave is Poliwhirl, and it's all mostly Poliwhirl. The Early Linsman. Holy shit, praise, you flatter. Oh, you give me my Impactor. I will not stop until I get Impactor. No actual rush, though. People don't ask for him outside of me. Flame Lord. If you are a Warhammer fan, which is your favorite Space Marine chapter? I am a Salamander Vulcan Lives. I know nothing about Warhammer. Don Ventillo. Ron, if you ever want to play GTA 3, Vice City, and or San Andreas, don't buy the definitive editions. Emulate them, my boy. Mr. Krabs. Oh, am I supposed to read this, Mr. Krabs? Oh, I don't have a good Mr. Krabs voice. I'm going to try, though.
Ron, if you ever want to play GTA 3, Vice City, and or San Andreas, don't buy the definitive editions, boyo. Emulate them, my boy.
That's terrible. That was awful. Aiden. Team Galactic on top. KR Spirit. I try to say something about the guy in the MTO videos before I ask for punch counter punch. Aiden Rosberg. Yeah, I love Black Templars and Emperor's Children. Aiden. Yeah, Pokemon names are tricky. How do you say Rayquaza? I assure you it's pronounced in a horrible way. It's Rayquaza. That's how you pronounce it. Vanny. Gallade is okay to me, but I think Gardevoir works so well as masculine too. Vanny. But after Gallade, Gardevoir got switched to be completely feminine. Gardevoir's name in Japanese is Cernite. Kara Spirit, I have a G1 tailgate and the white hasn't yellowed, but his chrome legs are tan. Damn. Aiden, sad we didn't get Mega Yamega. Don Ventilla, if I'm not wrong, Gen 6 theme was beauty. Mom makes, I remember watching Anime America's Hoopas review, lol. That's how I remember the movie. Vanny, Pokemon gender is one of the most interesting as hell to me. Most people need to talk about why we all call Lopunny a she and Machamp a he. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? The Witch Apple. I love Raichu so much. I wish he wasn't overshadowed by Pikachu. Dan Solo. This year, I hope to get the Fallen and Nemesis Prime for the Last Night. I hope they do Last Night Megatron. It will be great this year, but don't know because of the leaks. Christian says, the Main Toys of World, please, is my favorite wrecker. I've been asking for a while, so can you please get the Main Toys of the World this month, or at least next month? World will come. I don't know if it will be soon, but World will come. Don Tomatilla. I can't do some impressions anymore. Why, Arceus, why? Cassette Cryptid. I went over to my Pokemon-obsessed cousin's home for Christmas right after I saw the TV glow, and seeing the actor who plays Owen joking with Pikachu and Detective Pikachu was an absolute trip. Battle figure better or Scale World? I mean, Skull World is cool, but Skull World is also way too expensive for what it is. Omar says, Kabuto is the one that always gets me mispronounced. Kabuto? It's just Kabuto. And he says, thoughts on the missing link Grimlock? I mean, it's cool. Can't complain. Megalon, could low-key do many toys of other franchises other than Transformers? Megalon, I thought about it. One that I've been thinking about a lot is I would like to do one for McFarlane's DC Superpowers line, because it's coming to a close, and I really liked that line. I've also considered maybe doing something about, like, I don't know, just other characters that I enjoy. But yeah, I've absolutely thought about it. I thought about doing, like, mini toys of Avatar, because I do like those Avatar movies. Hey Ron, I have a question. After I finish the Primes, Logos Guardian Zeta, who do you want to see next? I don't know, the Rhythm Lensman. I never want to tell you what to do. I would much rather see just what comes to mind for you. Because I feel like if I say, like, I want to see this character, that puts, like, some, like, undue stress on you, where it's like, oh, I have to make it in a way that Ron likes. No, make it in the way that you like, and I'm going to say, holy crap, that's a cool thing I'm looking at. Outside of Transformers, MTO, Spawn could be cool. I'm not touching Spawn. I love comic books, and I even like Spawn to a certain extent, but Jesus Christ, there's too much dumb with Spawn. Not getting into that. Valentin Matilla, I requested Quake either for many months or a full year. Don't know yet. You've been requesting Quake for a while. I need to do Quake eventually. Christian, Is Whirl going to come sooner or later? I honestly don't know, Christian. I know that Whirl is on my list to do this year. I just don't know where I put Whirl. Mert by UK. Some figures are very small, only Skull World. That's very true. Kara Spirit. I like Low Kicks. Oh, Low Kicks is so cool. Because he's Kamen Rider Black and he's shiny as Kamen Rider Zero. Vanny says, I was thinking of Avatar toys a few days ago because I could feel the world is too cool, but they haven't gotten the proper toys since they Mattel toys. McFarlane's done a few. Nowhere near enough, but they've done a few. I actually have their Varan, their Korich, one of their Jakes, one of their Natiris, and their Tomawari. They're fine. They need to do the rest of the kids. Cassette says, that's fair. There's so much stupid stuff with him. Then he says, by Avatar, I mean the scaled up Smurfs, not the Last Airbender. Yeah. Alan, I dug out some of my old Construct bots, and those joints do not feel good. Yeah. Hey, Chismas. And Kara Spirit, is Punch Counterpunch scheduled for this year? I, honest to God, don't remember. I think, but I don't remember. Cassette Cryptid. Oh, apparently a friend of mine ordered a Lego Bionicle lot on eBay, and it's compatible with TFA Retgar he's given to me, so I'm super excited about that. Hell yeah. Don Fatilla, cats are cats, dogs are dogs, evil wrongs are evil wrongs. Am I out again? Enemy says, have you heard of Cross? That comic is nasty, literally torture porn, and oh, that's gross. Man says, I wish Avatar's toys scaled with the old line, because cool animals and people in the new figures seem cool, though. But yeah. Mer Toys, do you have the original Onyx figure? No, I actually don't have many Pokemon toys, believe it or not. I used to have a bunch of the finger puppets, and then I sold them. So now I'm just trying to get a couple of these figures, and I'm not even going to keep some of these. Like, a lot, even some of these box sets I got for a handful, but it's like, I don't need Lucario. I don't need Clefairy. Yeah, like, I'm going to kind of pick and choose which one of these I'm actually going to keep in my collection. But we only got one box left to open, so let's get to it. All right. There's Snubble, who is fine. I don't have any strong opinions on Snubble. Speaking of being just fine, hey Tapig. Tapig gets a lot of hate because this was the third Fighting Fire starter in a row, and I do think that he's the worst one of them all. Like, Blaziken and Infernape are both cooler than his line, but you know, he's fine. But it's okay, because that same generation we got Oshawott, also known as Joshawott, incredibly cute, and Samurott is one of my favorite starters ever. And then you also get Snivy, and I adore their entire line as well. Serperior is one of my favorite grass Pokemon of all time. Look at how they captured Snivy's personality too, just the, I know what you did. I know what you did. Good Snivy. Jesus Christ, that's another Pikachu hitting that pose. Alright, you just go right over there, you friggin' freak. And then we got Luxio. I feel like Luxray is like one of like the Mount Rushmore of Sinnoh Pokemon. Like whenever you do a Gen 4 playthrough, you're always going to have a Luxray in there somewhere. Right there with Staraptor. And then, got a Lowland Marowak. Very cool variant for Marowak. No, I thought that you'd be able to articulate the arms, but not really. They kind of just stand there. Still look cool, though. Decent Marowak. And that just leaves Rotom. Alright. Rotom, who is a ghost. Oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like, yeah, he just is supposed to balance on there. I was hoping he'd plug in. But, you know, decent looking Rotom. I love how they gave the second layer of plastic to really show how ethereal he is. There we go. Alright, let's catch up with some comments. Let's see. Christian says, the main toy is a Roadbuster. That'd be fun. Especially, wait a minute, didn't I already do? No, I did Top Spin. I've not done Roadbuster yet. Sorry about that, I almost knocked over the camera. Rhythm Lensman. I more like help me kind of brainstorm because I want to do my Shockwave and I have a drawing I did for Tap Out I want to do, but I don't like doing characters with modern or easy to get figures. Okay. Rhythm Lensman, how about, what about Nautica? Because there's not a Nautica out. Cheeseman says, the Subway sandwich was delicious. That's good. Dan Solo says, I am super glad I've got SS86 Optimus Prime. I will never buy an online SS86 by scalpers. Dan says, I have a lot of Pokemon plush. That was like my main thing for a while. Hell yeah. The Witch Apple, opinions on the Siege Tetrajet mold. Incredibly well articulated. Transformation was decent. The vehicle mode was okay, but I don't know. It always felt like it ended a lot quicker than you'd think. Aiden, I have a whole shelf full of Lucario stuff. Hell yeah. Vanny, I was kind of priced out of Pokemon plushies because they increased the prices so much. Yeah. I'm Onomatopoeia. I'm such a fraud. I'm John C. Spray, but don't even own a figure of him. I'm about to get power scaled against a real C. Spray Maxer and get demolished. Waffle Top says McFarlane is cool, but the Godzilla figures they made for Godzilla and DC crossover are so bad. Yeah, however, one of the best Wonder Woman toys of all time is packaged with that crappy Godzilla. Don Ventilla, Ron, there's a skinwalker outside. What do? Kill it, friend it, power roll it? I'm gonna say roll your D20. Mert by UK. I spent $1,860. Why are you spending that much money on toys? Oh, that's my rent plus utilities. Jesus. Flame Lord, the most funniest and wholesome joke in Family Guy is the thermostat joke. Every dad knows the holy thermostat. Harrisbert says, dab me up, Ron. Hell yeah. Cheeseman says, my dad just gave me Age of the Prime Sure Shot. Hell yeah. Mert Bai says, Pika Pika. Vanny says, opinions on Chikorita. Chikorita is incredibly cute. Bayleaf is one of the best middle evolutions ever. Meganium is so boring. Aelin, didn't care much for Samurott, but the Hisuian variant is peak. Mr. Viacom, how dare you talk about my little pig like that? Valentin Ventilla, Superior is French, like the design gives it Napoleon vibes. Hell yeah. Megalon, Mega Zero Aura took Luxrays who flow. Jesus, did you know, in the Archie Ninja Turtles comic, Raphael punched Adolf Hitler in the face? A lot of comic characters have done that. Random Onomatopoeia, French people are my favorite gender. Waffle Top says Luxray is a cool Pokemon. Sometimes Luxray is too cool. Mr. Viacon says they're my favorite. And he says, I want to say too, I hate the Paldea region as a region design. What's wrong with the Paldea? What's up with the Paldea region? What's wrong with it? And then Christian says, Rotom, it's cool. It's designed like a Roblox map. Oh, okay. Don says, your gender is either French, croissant, or tactical chopper. Cassette Cryptid says, my autism requires me to ask, what do you think of heresies? I really like heresies. I don't know what heresies is. Cassette. And then Toon Clown Car Productions. I love that Rotom toy. I'd like to have it, but only if I stumble upon it on its own. I saw that Rotom in a 2-pack with Pikachu for like $8. I don't know if it's still around. I see, Vanny, you just aren't big on how there's not a lot to do in Paldea. I get that. Waffle Top, if you start as one gender and become French, is that a fransition? Jesus Christ. And it says, my plush baby... Aiden, don't talk about Vaporeon that way. Jesus Prime, I like Godzilla from McFarlane. It's decent. I just think it's too expensive for what it is. Then Lord Ron, give us a hell yeah. Hell yeah. The Rhythm Lensman says, oh, I'm working on Zeta as I watch. Also, who's that again? My bad, I hyper-focused on the primes, which I have all that are out. Mayhem Attack and the Wreckers, which I'm almost done with. Nautica is the purple mechanic from More Than Meets the Eye. She's the boat. Bounty Ventilla. Oop. I saw Colonel Sanders powerplex my dog. Mom Mix, what's the worst Pokemon movie? I've been revisiting them thanks to you for some reason. Genesect or Hoopa? Hoopa. Because at least Genesect, there's the cool fight between Mega Mewtwo versus Genesect. Danny says Paldea is Gen 9. Yeah, I know which one Paldea is. I just don't understand what you're talking about. The Turtles also bullied Hitler into... Jesus Cheesimus! Oh, that's crazy. Cassette says Dead People Cars, the long Cadillacs with the S-bars. I have no idea what that is. Kara Spirit. I like how Sunder was a cassette bot that was an idle ground from Kiss Player, then was a brain-eating madman in IDW. It's funny. Cheesimus. Sounds like something the original Turtles would do. Christian. It's like a cool idea for an extra duration would be Mexico. I don't think Pokemon has done a region based off Mexico. No, they haven't. I don't think they've done any region based on Central or Latin America yet. And they've not done a region based on Africa either. Cassette Cryptid, funeral coaches, hearses, beers, dead sleds. What are you talking about? Vanny says, Nightmare Scenario, your favorite Pokemon characters are Gardevoir, Vaporeon, and Lopunny because you genuinely think they're cool and people think you're a goner. Flame Lords, I heard the developers of Space Marine 2 has the license to make a Hasbro game, but we don't know which one is going to be Transformers. Jesus says the Archie TMNT comics kind of went crazy. E1Tube, I know this is a Pokemon stream, but I have never been to a stream before. Love the TF content. How kind you've been to the community. Oh, well, thank you, Ewan. I'm glad you like it. Is it Ewan or Ewan? It might be Ewan now that I'm looking at it. Mom Mix is apparently OG Mewtwo's in a legal limbo because the writers stay got ownership of that specific version, apparently. I know I've heard stuff about that. I don't know if it's real or not. Vanny, I quit the Manphy movie. One of the movies I can't watch just stopped because I got so bored. Cheeseman says, I wasn't the original Turtles, it was the Archie one. Aiden, what do you think of Duraludon? I have no idea. Is Duraludon the friggin' three-headed dragon one? Cassette Cryptid. I was attempting to ask you what you think of cars that are used to transport the disease. Never mind, I'm sorry. Wait, you're asking me like my opinions on hearses? I hope I don't ride in one. Because when I'm in there, chances are I'm not driving. And if you're not driving one of those, there's a good chance you're the passenger. Rhythm Lensman. Or should I post concept for Zeta's head in the community here? That'd be cool, Rhythm Lensman. Mountain Ventilla, it sounds like something the original Turtles would do. J. Ray, do ASMR so I can fall asleep. And says it's like Skyscraper 1 from Sword and Shield. Oh, that one! Yeah, that one was cool. They should do a... I shouldn't make that joke. I should not make... Fuck it, we're making that joke. They should do a Mega Evolution. The Mega Evolution should have a little plane that flies around it. There, I did. Cassette Cryptid, yes. And then Emmy says, I miss NECA Godzilla. I had the Heisei one. He's so cool. But when I got him when I was younger, I played with him. And because I loved Monster Island Buddies, he still has sand in his joints. Random onomatopoeia. Ron, you ever watch JoJo? I have not. Makes my ideal He-Man show would be make DBZ mixed with JoJo's gothic horror vibe, like He-Man's got the heart. Okay. You win. Phonetically, it is you win, but I answered to anything remotely close. Aiden, I got Golden Gate Bridge Evolution. Good to know. I appreciate you putting up with me. I'm trying to get one IRL. A cassette? Or a hearse? And says, OML Ron. Vantatilla, fun fact, there's a fish Pokemon that is also a gun. Yeah, that's Remoraid. And they turn into Octillery. And then Aelin says, have the Mega take double damage from the Lottie Twins. Christian says, what would the Rutgers Pokemon be, specifically Roadbuster, Twin, Twist Springer, and Impactor? Oh, God. Okay. Let me think about this. So, Impactor He needs like a grizzled veteran. I'm seeing Impactor with Abomasnow. That makes sense to me. They're both like these very cagey, borderline malicious creatures, but there is something to them that you can tell that they regret what they become. Roadbuster, you need something that's big but well-meaning. I kind of see him... I see him with a Gliscor, because just like Roadbuster, Gliscor can absolutely be a monster, but you can tell there's something to a Gliscor where they are sympathetic. Twin Twist... because he has his twin, so I think Twin Twist and Topspin should get a Hitmonlee and a Hitmonchan. And then Springer. Springer needs something that is variable, that can be calm, collected, cool. I kind of see Springer... It's taking me a second. Because he needs something that has main character energy. Because Springer has main character energy. I kind of see Springer with Lucario. That makes sense to me. The Room Linsman. KK, I'll go do Zeta's baking, so like a sec. Sec Cryptid, yeah, I want to get a hearse very badly. Care Spirit, this is a very funny, there's a Gundam and a Zaku that have 7-Eleven decos. Cheesemus says, in 2012 TMNT series, Leo has a crush on his sister. Oh god, Karai. Yeah, that's not great. Toon, Clown, Car Productions. Oh, Ron, I'd like you to know that you saying Clutchumper is into McCarthyism in the roommates breaking is what made me subscribe to you because it made me laugh so hard. In G1, he is! He's the one who's like, everyone's a traitor but me! Ventilla, I used to know many Pokemon names, but now Arceus made me forget every single one. Damn you, Arceus. Christian, forgot to mention Whirl. Okay, Whirl. What Pokemon would Whirl have? Whirl would have a Sharpedo that he puts makeup and a wig on. And he tries to convince everyone that Sharpedo won't bite. Twin Twist and Topspin should get Sandslash and a Alolan Sandslash. That works too. I don't know. I still like my Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. Springer should get Spoink. Hell yeah. Duckboy, I might get some TMNT Transformers crossover stuff now. Hell yeah. Benny says Lucario. Oh, I got it right. Do not remind me of that show. Ewan says Gallade equals Springer. They both have swords. Gallade and Springer, that's a good duo. I like that a lot more than Lucario, actually. Yeah. Cheesemus says Cliffjumper, my other goat. Vanny, I do not know what Jamie P is. Aiden says it would be funny. Angry fur. Oh, a Furfrou from Whirl. That'd be funny. No, so, like, that's the thing, is, like, with Whirl, it either has to be a cute Pokemon that's messed up, or it has to be a messed up Pokemon that he tries to insist is cute. I'm sticking with him having a Sharpedo. Rodimus with a Charizard. I don't love it. I'll be honest. I think... Okay, He's the chosen one, so the obvious thing would be to give him a legendary. But I don't think legendary is the... No. I got it. Rodimus should have a Shaman. Hot Rod should have, like, tiny hedgehog Shaman. And then Skyform Shaman, badass Shaman, that's Rodimus's Pokemon. And it's like, literally, just like Rodimus, Shaman can either be dynamic and confident, or can be crushed by their own insecurities and turned back into the hedgehog. That is Rodimus's Pokemon. Someone who you will underestimate, someone who you don't think should have that much power, but by God, they know what they're doing, and by God, when the going gets tough, they get going. Rodimus would have a Shaman. Let's see here. Ron, thoughts on Gen 8? Gen 8 specifically, that's Sword and Shield. Very fun games. Not a lot of great new Pokemon, but there are some great standouts like Toxtricity. Overall, good game. Random Onomatopoeia. Pepsi Prime is so peak, dude. I wish I had him. Base, Waffletop says Rodimus and Charizard had the same energy, to be honest. You say that. I kind of feel like Charizard needs to go to Pikachu. Like, I feel like their energy is a lot more similar in that they're both industry plants. Mimikyu for Whirl. Christian, I'm actually going to say Mimikyu should go to Wasp. Because Wasp is, at least animated Wasp, is like stuck in Bumblebee's shadow. Cassette Cryptid, what Pokemon would Prowl have? Beachcomber, Knockout. Okay, Prowl, I don't know why, my immediate thought goes to Noctowl. Like, they're both in the shadows, they're both constantly watching. No. Prowl would have a Xatu. Like the Psychic Totem Pokemon. Yeah, that works way better. And Prowl is giving that Pokemon, like, aneurysms. He's forcing him to see the future and convey what's going to happen. Beachcomber needs someone... for some reason, Beachcomber, I think, would work best with, like, a Wailord. Like, he found an injured Welmer and nursed it back to health, and now he just hangs out with his Wailord all day. Knockout, I don't know why. This feels right to me. Knockout should have a Flareon. Like, both of them have amazing looks, but aren't the best in fights. Yeah, that works for me. That works a lot. Vanny, what about Whirl with Huntel or Feebas, but Feebas actually evolves to be cute? Maybe. I don't know. I'm still on my Sharpedo with a wig idea. You're the Linsman. Honestly, though, I'm kind of finding it hard to process that you were talking about something I've made. I've struggled with self-esteem for a while, so thank you, Ron, for giving me a slight boost. Okay, I need to pause and, like, let's drop any, like, jokes or anything. Rhythm Linsman, like, you made some cool stuff. Like, you had great sculpting, your colors were on point. Like, I mean, how many people were in the community tab talking about how cool your stuff was? Like, Rhythm Linsman, I'd even say, like, make videos. If you're comfortable, of course. Like, if you're comfortable doing it, make videos talking about your process, how you make them, why you make them, why you see these things the way you do, why you chose that color scheme, why you chose that design. That's interesting. Like, Rhythm Linsman, you are a creative person. You are an artist. And for someone like me, who has never been talented in art, when I see people describe their creative process, it's like wizardry to me. It's magic. You know, it's why I'm so lucky to have so many friends in the Transformers community who are such talented artists. Because they have a skill that I wish I had, but I don't. I just don't. I don't have that skill, and I don't have the patience to build up that skill. I think I'm good with my, like, thought experiments. I think I'm a decent writer. I think I have some good humor. But I don't consider myself a creative necessarily. I don't think I have that talent. Whereas, like, you absolutely do, and you should, like, be proud of that. Cassette Cryptid says, real. Ewan says, I wish you luck with obtaining a copy of Pepsi Prime. The Witch Apple. Okay, yeah, Shaman is a much better fit. Can't disagree. Talking about Shaman with Rodimus. Cheeseman says, I saw Pepsi Prime in person at a convention once. Hell yeah. Cassette says, Mimikyu for Wasp is so good, though. Waffle, yeah, I guess now Bumblebee should just get a Pikachu. That works, too. Mountain Ventilla. Arachnid's main Pokemon should be Frostlass. I just came up with that idea. Ooh, that does... I do like Frostlass. I think that Galley also works, because isn't Galley also stayed to, like, take pleasure in, like, slowly freezing people to death? We're all should get a Beware. Oh, yeah. And then Flamelord says, besides Megatron, who else was justified to become the villain in Transformers? I think Shockwave has always been there and could always take over that role. Same thing with Bludgeon. Steeljaw. Steeljaw could have been such a great major villain. Cassette Cryptid, what was the second option for Prowl? It was Xatu. The green bird that looks like a totem pole from Gen 2. I think that fits Prowl better, but my first thought was a Noctowl. J. Ray, do you think they can pull off a Pokemon Transformer show in which they interact with other aliens rather than humans again? I mean, I think they absolutely could. It's just a question of, like, would they want to? Waffle Top, actually, Arachnid having Frostlass makes perfect sense because both are collectors. Cassette Cryptid, honestly, you nailed Knockout. I'm pretty proud of Flareon Knockout. Air Spirit, what would Six Such Beast Mode be besides the wolf? I mean, he would just have to turn into, like, another alien beast, right? Cassette Cryptid, I kind of like the idea of Noctowl Prowl as a reference to Transmetal Prowl. I did notice that it did autocorrect to Transfem Prowl. I think I would prefer Transfem Prowl to Transmetal Prowl, but that might just be me. Toon Clown Car Productions. I thought Six saw it as a winged bear for a storyline. Him turning into a bear would actually kind of fit him more than a wolf, I think. JP Printer. Imagine if Beast Wars was Pokemon Wars instead. Who would fit which Pokemon? So, JP, I do not want to spoil anything. I'm actually working on that video right now. Not what they would turn into, but what Pokemon would each Beast Wars character have as their partner. And I'm really proud of some of the picks I made. You know what? I'll go ahead and spoil a couple of them. The one I really like is Tigatron's partner would be Trevenant. And the way I imagine this is, right, Tigatron's going through a forest one night. It's a dark forest. And all of a sudden, a tree starts attacking him. And Tigatron starts to fight back, but he realizes this tree is flailing at him. Like, there's no strategy, there's no plan. It's just an angry child throwing a tantrum. And Tigatron, because he's so spiritual, he doesn't see this as a Pokemon. He thinks, we have robbed so many animals and so many plants of life during the Beast Wars. The Earth is trying to attack me. So he transforms, and he surrenders, and he apologizes to Trevenant. And he begs for forgiveness, because he sees this as Mother Nature lashing out against him. But what he doesn't realize is he's talking to a scared child. And Tigatron actually reaches this kid, and the Trevenant backs off, and they become buddies. So that's one of my Pokemon Beast Wars pairings, is I think Tigatron and Trevenant would be very close. Toon Clone Car Productions. If we're doing Pokemon science, any thought of a Pokemon for Hellbat? Oh, if not, how about one of your favorites? I just like rare characters. Well, with Hellbat, you need someone who is slightly treacherous, but is also somewhat effeminate, and does care for the well-being of his team. So you need something that is venomous, but can be heroic. I don't want to just say give him a Crobat, but Crobat feels right for Hellbat. I'm thinking about Leozak. That's not... Strike everything I just said. I'm talking about Leozak right now. Hellbat. I don't know anything about Hellbat. I'm sorry. I gave one for Leozak, though. Christian, have you watched the show on Netflix called Rising Dion? I have not seen that. Ventella, Quick should get a Zerora. They're both plain simple and generic. Megalon, Whirl with the skull form, wishy-washy. Aiden says, Optimus should get a Cobalion. Both are stoic leaders. They're Lensman. Yeah, that's... Well, thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where I got everything. The Risen was a fusion between the characters who have been the 13th. The colors are taken from his Prime Master. Okay, you see, I didn't know that. That'd be cool to, like, see a process. You might have put that in a community post and I just forgot. But that's interesting, because I was trying to figure out, like, why you chose blue and yellow. Vanny, Steeljaw can never be a villain on par with Megatron because everything finds Steeljaw too attractive. Am I right, guys? Oh no, he's hot. Random onomatopoeia. If Transformers gets a Miku collab, it better be Soundwave Free-Techo with a mini Miku fig. Yes, but also I want a Blaster repaint. Ewan, on the topic of customs, the custom Transformer sub is full of extremely nice and helpful people. They have a lot of cool stuff there. KR Spirit, I think Bludgeon should have the personality of Comic Taskmaster, a smart-ass badass. J Printer, ooh, I can't wait to see it. Witch Apple, many toys of Galvatron and Minerva, sometime. Then he says, Miku in Soundwave clothes. No! Soundwave in Miku clothes. Cassette Cryptid, honestly, Transfem Prowl could be neat. I'd be very interested to see that. Antifatella, Soundwave, Repo, Hatsune Miku! Vanny, this reminds me actually, Onomatopoeia, good answer, nephew. Vanny says, I know we always call Dex entries into question, but some Pokemon are implied to be dead Pokemon, but also how? If Gengar is said to be a dead person, then how are Ghastly and Haunter in a biological relationship with Gengar? So, Vanny, for one thing, the Pokedex talks about, like, folklore and legends, but I actually still think it works. I don't think Gengar is the soul. I think that when you die, you become a Ghastly. And essentially, the reason why there's less Haunters and Gengars is eventually you leave Purgatory. Like, I think Ghastly is a Purgatory, and some people move on. Those that refuse to move on become Haunter, and then as they become fully corrupted, they become Gengar. That's how I think about it. No, there are actual ghosts in Pokemon. That Marowak was a ghost. Speaking of, here's another ghost Marowak, in case we forget. Don Ventilla, Grimlock should get the T-Rex fossil from Gen 6. Toon, Clown Car Productions, Leo Zach, and Crobat is cute. Hellbat is also treacherous, but more manipulative than Leo Zach. He also acts a bit cutesy to get his way. Okay. Pia says, wait, they have an idea. If Miku is Soundwave, Blaster is Tito. Christian, if you were a Transformer and not using your profile picture, what would you transform into, and would you transform the thing? So basically, like, if I was a Transformer, what would I choose in an alternate mode? I would transform into a better person. I don't know. In all honesty, I think I would like to be a helicopter. That just makes sense to me. Waffle Top, would Unicron get Yveltal or Eternatus? I would rather see Yveltal, because I like Yveltal more. And I think Sunstreaker should have Lucario, specifically the one from Pokemon Journeys. The last episode has Ash's Lucario crashing out at Cinderace because he messed up Lucario's fur with ice cream. Is that Cryptid? Do you guys think we'll ever get a car crossover from Knight Rider? Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Ramon Pia says I'm a genius. Vanny says, how I think about it, though, is that ghost Pokemon have ghost properties but aren't actual ghosts. Okay. Dr. Ventola, them Gen 1 ghost Pokemon can't be catched, say, get out. Vanny says, because if some ghost Pokemon are dead, then also 1, how are they born? And 2, why are some implied to be dead, but some are ghostly and weird for some reason? And then Kara Spirit, can we get a reverse Duocom like Movie Skids and Mudflap, just not racist? Cassette Crypto, joke's on you, I transform into a woman. Vanny says, I feel like Matt Pat with this. Oh no. J Ray says, there are Pokemon that can talk. Should they be pets? Like Mewtwo, Darkrai, etc.? I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, Mewtwo, you're my dog now. Jolteon with Cheetor. No, so, okay. Enemy. Froakie with Cheetor. And then when Cheetor becomes a Transmetal, Frogadier. And then when he becomes a Transmetal 2 in Season 3, Greninja. They grow up with each other. The Rhythm Lensman. I did updates as I worked. Also, the Prime Master was pretty much the G1 Prima. I do not want to post videos. I do want to post videos, and I do post on Reddit. I struggle with starting. I haven't posted anything since Rudderstorm. Is that Crypto? In all seriousness, I think I'd be a box TV or a toaster or maybe a news van. Christian, I do not watch TFI Creations. I don't know what that is. Mount Ventilla. I transform into Light Yagami. And Aiden says, my name would be Bushwhacker, and I transform into a wand. Why not Bushwhacker Look or Bushwhacker Butch? And then you could do the walk. Man, I love the Bushwhackers. I'm so sad that Bushwhacker Butch is dead. But Luke is still alive. And despite being 90 years old, he still has jet black hair. Tell me how that works. But also, my ghost headcanon is that also my own feelings, because I don't want Gengar to just be a dude I named in butt liquor. If that's just a dude that I died, I feel bad. Here it says, sorry bro, gotta ask, are you willing to vibe with Digimon? J Ray, I have nothing against Digimon. I just don't know a single thing about Digimon. Everyone tells me Digimon's great. I have never done anything with Digimon. Some of the designs are really cool. There's some designs I really like from Digimon. But that's all I got. Don't know anything about it past that. What are your thoughts on Devil May Cry? Super fun series of games. I'm not very good at them, but I like them. Hunter is bigger than Gengar for some reason. Yeah, I think it's because Hunter still has like a lot of the gas, and then he condenses into Gengar. And then Ewan says, I want to turn into an Earth Attack helicopter and a Cybertronian Lambo. Hell yeah. Aiden, I have watched Evangelion. It's fine. I like it. Cassette says, ooh, wow. Cassette says, I like Digimon. That's just a big dude with big arms and a 1962 Cadillac on his back. Here's Spirit. You're excited for Space Godzilla for the new Monsterverse film? I really hope it's not Space Godzilla. Out of all the Toho monsters, Space Godzilla is probably my least favorite. I've never liked Space Godzilla. I hope it's Gigan. Christian, he's a Transformer YouTuber who does fan films. The TFI stands for Transformers Creations. Alright. Wait a minute, I think I do know them. I think I voiced for them one time. I don't remember. I think I did some voice acting for TFI Creations, maybe. Vanny says, and Let's Go Gengar is massive. JP says there's a Digimon that's just a gun, and there's a Digimon that's a dinosaur made of guns. Hell yeah. Alphatop says, if I were a Transformer, I would probably either turn to a Grimlock-style penguin, I mentioned, or Bird Box spy camera thing. And then Cassette, so it's confirmed to be Space Godzilla and Gigan? Wait, Gigan is in the movie? Oh, that's cool. And says, would you do a video on Octane? Yeah, at some point. Mr. Viacom, what's your thoughts on Mega Zarak? I like Mega Zarak. I do think that, like, BotCon kind of overused Mega Zarak as a character, but, like, Mega Zarak's fine. Waffletop, also, it is Space Godzilla in the next month's first movie. It was leaked on the Writers Guild website. Oh, okay. Vanny, why do you hate Space Godzilla? He has a sound system in his crystal and plays music. I don't like Space Godzilla. I think it's an overdone design. I think it's way too busy, and, I don't know. I think Heisei was too quick to do too many duplicate Godzillas, because in Heisei you had Mechagodzilla 1, Mechagodzilla 2, you had Space Godzilla, and Biollante. There's too many goddamn fake Godzillas running around. Vanny, why do you hate Oh, I already said that. Aiden, let's forget about the Japanese version of Octane in the manga. I don't even want to ask. Megalon, pretty sure there was a MonsterVerse guy again. He got slimmed out. Okay. Rhythm Linsman, well, if anyone cares, his head is a fusion between IDW and the TF1 design, and the Guardian is just a knight kind of design to separate him from Rodimus. Cool. Enemy, how have we never had a single monster truck transformer? Gravedigger has so much potential. She is so cool. No, there is a monster truck transformer. There's Inch Up from Cybertron. Random onomatopoeia. I play Fly Me to the Moon all the time in my room to keep Shinji figure in my room's trauma running full throttle. Vitola, you know what they call cheese in French? Oh no. And then Cheeseman says, Gigan, my good. Vanny says, if I was a Transformer, I would be a tank and a plane. A tank so I could be a tank kaboom, and a plane so I could avoid the ground without dealing with stuff like traffic. Random onomatopoeia. What about my goat Kiryu? Why doesn't he show up again? Dude, Kiryu would be so cool to see again. But I don't think the MonsterVerse could do Kiryu better. Waffle Top. Waiting for a good Transformers Godzilla crossover. Tell me about it. J-Ray, did Primus copy other life forms, or are the Cybertronians original? Well, I mean, technically they're all like him, right? Aiden says, the thing Octane... Okay, and then Christian says, if you were friends with one of the wreckers, what would be your friend and who would you kind of hate? I'd hate all of them. I don't want any of those gross motherfuckers around me. I despise each and every one of them. From the bottom of my heart, I hope that they all disappear. Fundamental, the BotCon Tigatron of the CW Wildfire all creeps me out. Yeah, he's just weird. Waffletop, still waiting for Mechagodzilla City Triptychon. Enemy Vanny, was that a MIB reference? Ewan, Blue Streak video, yes. Cassette, so, what do we think of Hot Rod versus Rodimus Miter versus I'm a Hotep Rodimus versus Flame? What does that even mean? None of that means anything. Toon Clown Car Productions, thoughts on the Train Bots Raiden? I don't have any opinions on them. I don't care about them. The better Train Bots are the ones from RID. Cassette, what is your lead? My favorite name for him is I'm a Hotep Rodimus. Vanny, who are you? Hello, Godzilla. I'm Kiryu from the Yakuza games. Ramon Pia, but Retgar is Weird Al. That means he's cool. Vanny says, but also, yes, that was MIB reference. The Rhythm Linsman made toys of Impactor Speedrun. His first toys, Fok Impactor, CC Impactor, MMC Impactor, and a crap ton of repaints. Siege Impactors, okay, but done. Cheesemus, Monster Island Buddies, RAR. Vanny, it's peak. J-Ray, do you hope the next Transformer show is 2D rather than 3D? I don't care, I just want it to look good. Random Automatopoeia. Shut up, Vanny, that's not what I mean. Valentin Ventilla, hear me out. Silver Streak, not Blue Streak, as a Solid Snake. Aiden, I want them to do actual Combiner live-action movie. I was thinking of trilogy with a few Combiners. Okay, yeah, sure. Aiden, I want to see a live-action Defense Force so badly. I'm sure it'd be fine. Vanny, have you ever watched Star Squad? Yes, I have. That's the entire reason why I bought that Flareon. Toon, and also the Caterpie. I got the Caterpie because of the Caterpie from Star Squad. And then Toon, Clown Car Productions. Reasonable. Been thinking about watching RID for the trains and Skybite. That's a good reason to watch them. Also, the construction crew are great. Boom. I did it. I caught up on all the comments. We have been doing this for over 2 hours. Waffletop, Transformer Siege sounds like time to do my legally required many toys of fossilizer suggestions. Sure, sometime. I am really tired. I am really thirsty. Ron, thoughts on Gravity Falls? Good cartoon. I liked it. Great animation. KR Spirit, what do you think about Dragon Ball Z abridged dub? Super funny and sometimes better than Dragon Ball. And it says, I'm a go now. Bye, y'all. See you guys. Enemy, you guys hate, right? Are you doing Gigan right now, Enemy? Cassette says based. Valentine Mattel says Ron, the fastest reader of the DC universe. Listen, thank you guys all so much for coming out. It's been a ton of fun. I feel like I'm bleeding from my throat. I've been tasting blood in the back of my mouth for like 20 minutes. Vanny, I was wondering why, because further on Star Squad was like your description of Knockout. Yes, that is entirely why I thought that made sense to me, because he sounds like Knockout. Random, Ron, the only DB fan who can read. Harrisburg, good night, Ron. I'm right. Cheese, Ron, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's just I did not get any water, and now my throat is sore. Waffle, Ron doing a Shin Godzilla reference? Yes. Christian, they should make a new Impact toy. They should be the same mold from Transformers Siege. I feel like they're eventually going to do IDW since they're going to do Transformers. Maybe. Like I said, thank you for putting up with me, drinking some water, don't die. I've heard it's bad for your health. I'm going to try not to. Pia, Ron, please drink some water. Rhythm Linsman, many toys of Impact or win. I don't know, sometime. Cheeseman says, have a good night. Tune Clown Car Productions, Ron, please drink water and sleep. I will, eventually, maybe. But thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been a ton of fun. We need to do more live streams. This is probably going to be the last live stream we do here, but there's always a chance we'll do another. Thank you for putting up with me and looking at some Pokemon. But alright, see you guys.